Hello and welcome to the Matt Black podcast. We're up to episode 18. My guests were trying to listen to the intro on the headphones, but one of them didn't quite make it in time. Got some obstruction on top of her head. So please welcome Stacy Green and Alex. Well, let's say you say it actually.
Leventhal.
It's Leventhal. Yeah, I was practicing a little bit before we started, but I'm not going to risk it. How are we doing?
Good, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, how was the journey from? So you've come from Brummieland, haven't you?
Well, Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, I was going to say we're everyone calls us Brummies, but we're not.
So you're not.
I am a Brummie, a yam I am.
So what's the exact exact area?
It's called the Black Country. It's like Dudley, Wolverhampton, Walsall. That
I've played in Dudley many moons ago.
Probably JB's.
Yeah.
Has
it gone now?
No, it's gone completely.
That was a great venue.
Yeah, don't get started on
legendary.
JB's. It's
legendary. I immediately offended everyone by just saying hello, Dudley.
Yeah, that's it. That sounds about
I'm
right.
used to people taking the mick out of my accent everywhere I go. So
it's right by the zoo and the castle. So if you go up early, you can have a walk around the zoo and the castle. That's always fun.
I've not really ventured around in there.
No, it's best not to, do you? There was one time they had one of the snow leopards escaped.
I don't remember.
Do you remember that?
No.
It was in the paper, and they put an article in. It's like,
was it all right walking around there on its own?
Well, this was it. It said they've
in Dudley, yeah.
They decided to it may just have to fend for itself.
Right. So for the ones that don't know, you guys are part of multiple bands. It seems that every guest that I have doesn't just do one thing anymore. In this day and age, we just have to be jack of all trades.
He's worse than me.
Yeah, I'm by far the
Definitely worse
Really?
than me, yeah.
Yeah, I'm horrendous.
Oh, well,
we call him a musical prostitute.
Yeah.
I always call myself a bit of like a band whore. It's I chat to anyone and they'll say, "Oh, what did he want?" Let's go. "Oh, he's just asked me to join his band." And you've not said yeah, have you?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. There's not enough hours in the day, is there?
Yeah, that does eventually become the challenge.
Yeah.
Like kind of, I have very limited criteria for being. If somebody asks me to do something, I usually just go.
Beer.
So you're going to pay me and there's beer.
Yeah.
He's in.
Then I'm in.
He's anyone's.
That's most musicians, isn't it?
He's anyone's then.
Yeah.
Let's talk about because obviously you work in multiple bands.
Yes.
Is Alex in every single band?
He's in a few of my things now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Mostly our Eurythmics tribute.
Yeah.
Right.
Is where it started.
You've sort of adopted me, haven't
you?
Yeah.
I
was like a lost child.
It was kind of a fact of like we knew each other for a while because of musical stuff, and then I needed some musicians to get this off the ground, and then you offered your services.
Yeah, I didn't realise.
The musical prostitute, and
so we know each other for a few years before, just on the circuit, as it were.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise we actually live around the corner from each other.
Literally 5 minutes from each other. Yeah.
It was like, well, this could be really convenient for going to gigs and stuff. We share the driving. Or you drive to all of them and I'll just...
It's worked out all right.
Yeah, it has done,
Yeah.
So we'll work through them then one by one. I'm guessing most people that's looking on YouTube right now can probably guess some of the tributes that you might be doing.
Yeah.
There's a couple of curveballs in there, isn't there? So obviously you've got the Annie Lennox and Eurythmics tribute.
Yeah.
So and I've seen you do this and you do these shows on different scales as well. Like you do like a full band version, and then sometimes it's like a scaled down.
It's got more to the band. Mostly, but obviously when I first started doing tribute work, I was a solo tribute, and then I used to be in bands before that. Came out of bands, fell into being a tribute, and I've gone back to bands. And I think the Annie Lennox started out because everyone kept going, "Oh, you look like that lady from the '80s," and they kept going, "Oh, what's her name?" And I was like, "Annie Lennox," because I'm the spit of my mum, and my mum always got the Annie Lennox thing as well. So I knew it was going to happen at some point. And then, so I started doing it after a bit of persuasion, because I didn't want to, but I did. Then my guitar player, Rob, joined me as sort of doing the Dave Stewart part, because they're mostly known as a duo. It's famously a duo. And then got into like, we need the whole thing, the whole band, musicians, everything. So that's where Alex came into the show.
So when did that start then? That particular band?
3 years.
Yeah.
Nearly, might be about 3 years.
Could be,
Since We did our first show, which was a
Do you want me to
theatre.
check?
You
So
can
make
check.
sure we're
I mean,
fact-
he likes to be.
Well, yeah, but somebody-
He likes to be on the ball, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's the internet. We'll get fact checked.
Because that's what you would do.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's just
Six buds in abusing people on internet for
What was the
Yeah.
first?
Wrong.
It was Litchfield Garrick.
Litchfield
Was that
Garrick, wasn't it? I
22?
remember that because that was
2.
that was.
He has this all written. He's like a geek.
So
He's
I-
so
I check-
over-organised,
I have
which
to
is
check
great
everything,
for me.
yeah.
Because I'm not organised.
Well, in a minute, you're probably going to ask me what else I do, and then it'll become clear why I have to be so hyper-organised.
I think it's 3 years. I'm going to place my
I can't
bets.
see Litchfield Garrick for some reason. Yeah, 2020,
April
2022.
22.
Yeah. Oh no, that was where we all got together. Remember that?
Oh,
So
there
February,
you go.
February 2022.
22, I was right.
It was like, should we all get together and have a meeting? Yeah. In the pub? Yeah.
Nothing's going to get done.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So so you've got the Pink tribute as well,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
you saw that coming.
Yes, that's the one I'm most probably known for.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's the Annie Lennox and the Pink is the most. So yeah, I try to get the guys up here, but obviously they've got some commitments. They do teaching and music teaching
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
So, but that's probably out of all the shows most popular.
Yeah.
Especially like we've been doing a lot more with the band as well. So obviously again that all started as a solo tribute. And then progressed because someone went, "Oh, can you do this as a band?" I was like, "Okay," and then go off and find a band. So
So when did that start? When did you actually start
that
doing the
was
solo
before
stuff?
COVID. The Pink guys we got together. I think our first gig was 2018. I think it was
So it's
2018.
it's not
I
a
thought-
crazy
yeah, I
old
thought it was
show,
before
is it
that,
then?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you,
When did you start doing solo? It must have been way before that.
I did
So
my first solo tribute in about 2010.
That's where we first met. I came
Yeah,
to see
2010.
you. So
It's a tribute.
I was on the way to
Yeah.
a gig. Got to the gig. It was I can't remember what the gig was, pub gig or something. Got there, double booked. So we were like, ugh. And it was the first gig. That's right. It was the first gig of me doing a different show with Aid.
Yeah.
And who I work with a lot. And then we were like, oh, this is crap. Should we see what's on? The wives had come with
Stumbled
us, so it was
into my
like,
gig.
yeah, see what's on about. And he was like, oh, Stacey's on down the road. Oh, let's go and have a watch. So we went down and gate crashed it.
Yeah. Cause mayhem
Cool, yeah, standard.
wherever he goes.
Yeah, no.
and that started the conversation then to potentially
No.
creating a
Further
bit of a
down the
band
line,
thing.
it was
Yeah,
just we knew each other.
Yeah, we sort of just, we weren't like really friends, really. We just sort of bumped into each other.
Acquaintances, yeah, from
we
that point
just-
on.
You know, but then obviously recently we talk a
last
lot more and
3
stuff.
years,
Like
yeah. And Alex is our tech for the Pink show as well. So he's not just a musical prostitute, he's
Yeah,
a technical one as well.
I'll do anything. Yeah, if there's
He's a
beer,
geek.
if there's beer money, then I'm there. If there's dogs as well, then that's
Yeah.
a bonus as well.
I'm going to say, he's like Dr. Dolittle, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Nearly every guest that comes here gets shouted at by, well, every guest gets shouted at by
It's
my
like
dog
your
Otis.
mission,
Yeah,
isn't
I've
it,
no-
to
It's got to
persuade
get
them.
Yeah, it's a psychology thing.
Came
You
up
just
for a
gotta-
little sniff, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he did. Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know. Is that a good thing? What do dogs like to
Ran-
sniff? What do
ran
they?
off again.
Generally, what dogs sniff? I don't know.
That's one of the things that we're like aiming to do. We want to get to a point where we can take the dog with us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because I
that's a
hate
dream.
leaving him. You know, like when
Yeah.
we start packing cases for the weekend, and
Yeah.
he's like, he knows it's coming.
Oh.
He starts
Yeah.
sulking, sits
Yeah.
on stairs on his own.
Yeah. I know what you mean. So yeah, I've got greyhounds, so they're just lazy and.
I mean, should we tell everyone what we call you?
No, don't. It's
Well,
actually my wife that calls me this. It was,
Your wife named you that, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a challenging life, to be honest. It's hard. It's hard being me.
You do like dogs, though.
I do. I love.
And
Yeah,
we can
I'm-
guarantee if we're at a gig, we might go somewhere, we're walking along, turn around, he's not there. Usually
I'm on the floor,
he's
yeah.
on the floor talking to a dog whilst the human with the dog is just going, what's going on?
Yeah.
getting completely ignored.
Yes.
Dogs like
Dog
that.
first,
Yeah.
human second.
Oh, definitely.
So should we
You
tell him?
do
You
what
could
you want.
even tell him, yeah.
Yeah, we call him the dog pedo.
That's-
The dog pedo because he goes straight for the dogs, fusses the dogs, asks what the name of the dog is.
Yeah, and then
Then might take a photo of the dog.
Yeah.
And then one with the dog.
Yeah, and then
You've probably got
You're not a fire safety
of
officer
random
by any
dogs.
chance, are you?
Bizarrely, I've been in the past.
Really?
Yeah, unrelated. Why'd you ask?
It's the character on Phoenix Nights, isn't it? The Keith Lard.
This is getting better now.
yes.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love Phoenix Nights. I love that programme.
Keith Lard. There's no smoke without fire.
No, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that a dog?
Yeah. Don't be so paedophobic.
Just, I didn't call it yet.
Yeah, it was my wife, yeah.
We just latched on to the names. So.
Yeah.
It's you say where are we from, like Yam Yam Girls, Black Country Wenches, they're a challenge.
He's going to get abuse now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially if it's karaoke night, she locks me in the bathroom.
I think we're gonna have to work on that nickname really and try and aim for something a bit.
Refine it, yeah.
Please
do.
Yeah, something that looks a little bit more positive, on his
maybe.
reputation.
Maybe. We can guarantee if we've lost him, he's with a dog somewhere.
Yeah. Well, you can always tell them about my other nickname that you gave me.
Oh, right, yeah. He's going to say it's for a different reason. I call him Donkey,
Right.
right?
Oh yeah.
Now, the reason I call him
The
Donkey...
reason she
No,
calls me.
No, not your reason. Donkey and Shrek. Shrek and Donkey. He doesn't shut up.
Right.
He's like, 10 to the dozen, but anything, and then he'll break into a song.
And break it's all like a musical.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah, sometimes.
Like Donkey.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like this is more becoming like a therapy session.
This is a little bit actually.
Just chilling on the sofa and
It's like sibling therapy or something. Yeah.
just let it all out.
Yeah. And the real reason is circling back to Eurythmics. Of course, being a Scottish. With Annie Lennox being Scottish. So I saw that as a perfect opportunity to wear a kilt on stage.
Yeah.
Because it's incredibly comfortable, and I can recommend this to you. Because, on stage, any musician will get it, in any environment, you get hot, especially in the summer, it's so hot and sweaty. You come off stage at the end of the night and you're like, oh, I need a shower. But you can't, you got to pack your gear away, drive home and all that. But a kilt allows...
He's trying to convince you.
Airflow.
Additional airflow in the areas that get the most sweaty.
It's not good, is it?
So it really does help.
Yeah.
But one time, actually 2 times now, I did it.
A few times?
Oh, I just got it. I don't know.
He started off by doing this to our drummer.
Yeah. He was so he hasn't slept since.
Right.
But yeah, just flashed him.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, are you banned from putting your foot on the monitor? So.
Yeah, well,
He does sometimes.
Yeah.
Tempting ladies to, and
Do
then
you
he
know
runs
what?
away. He runs away.
Yeah, they're at some of the gigs we do. They're a bit like scary. so they get a bit what's the word? Handsy.
Yes.
Handsy. Some
Well,
lady.
you do tempt them by putting your foot on the
Well,
monitor
yeah, they're
in a
like,
kilt.
they're like,
Unless, like the other week,
what happened
you were like, we were like Wallace and Gromit with the wrong trousers.
Oh, yeah, okay. So is this what we're doing? We're just doing stories about
Abusing
how much
you,
of an idiot I am. But anyway, the point was, I flashed her the one time, and then since then she's called me Donkey.
No, not true at all. Deny, lie.
Absolutely.
He's Donkey because of Shrek and Donkey.
In actual fact, when she tells that story, she goes, "Oh, Neddy flashed me. It was a cold day."
Baz on the drums does that.
Yeah, with baby carrots. And this is on the internet now.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Abuse.
Oh, my wife's there putting comments. Yeah, you're all right. Yeah, whatever.
So when you first started setting up the tribute, or even just by yourself, what kind of sparked you to do that? What why Pink? Really,
I've been in the tribute game for 15 years now, and it was purely by accident. Like I say, I was in bands before. I was in all-girl rock bands, playing guitar, big hair, big boots, very glam rock, writing our own stuff, that kind of thing. And then you kind of get out that phase a little bit. Then I went sort of solo, and I thought, oh God, doing just covers, general stuff. And it was very quickly apparent. People kept coming up to me going, I had long hair at the time when I started doing it, and it was dark actually, long dark hair. Everyone kept saying to me, "You sound like Cher." I was like, "What? I didn't think I sound like anybody," but they kept saying it to me. I was like, "Okay, well, I knew nothing about tributes other than stars in your eyes and that kind of thing." So I just sort of stepped my foot into it a little bit.
Showing your age. Stars in Our Eyes. Is that a programme on the telly?
Yeah, it is. And it came back afterwards as well. Remember that?
Did it?
Yeah. So I stepped my foot into being a Cher tribute, and that's where I started. And sort of kind of like, oh, this is quite fun. You know, you dress up, you be somebody else, completely different. And because I hate hearing my accent back, which I'm going to dread when I hear this back.
Oh, you sound great, Bab. Don't worry.
So it's quite nice to be. I have to put on like an American accent or something like that. So, and then it was about a year later. I decided very selfishly. I was like, I really like Pink. I'm going to do a Pink tribute. That's where that started about a year later.
Is that what inspired you to cut the long hair off? Or
yeah.
You already done that?
Yeah,
right?
my mum's got short hair. My sister had short hair at the time.
Oh, so you're actually a Pink fangirl as well?
Yeah. I was actually just a fan of Pink. And I just thought, she's the most like me. If I'm an artist, which I had been sort of, she's... the lyrics, the music, the style, the attitude, it's all pretty much me. Because, like, I kind of like look like that anyway, generally. But that's what made me cut my hair off, because I had long hair.
It's easier, isn't it, to have the short hair for Pink, put the wig on for Cher, have the big hair and try and...
It was, because I did start off using a wig, and I know other people use a wig, but it was like a hassle putting all that hair under a short wig.
Go somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think about how, like, you know, drag artists feel.
Yeah.
You know.
It is.
You got to tuck it somewhere.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, I suppose. When you're a Cher tribute, people do ask you if you're a man, though. That's the thing.
Oh, because you've got that
deep
that
voice,
in the voice,
it's
the warmth.
associated with drag queens.
Everyone's got a Cher in them, isn't they?
Yeah.
Mostly men actually do a Cher.
There's always a lot of drag queens singing "Believe," isn't there?
Yeah. They love Cher.
Yeah,
they love Cher.
Yeah, she's such an LGBTQ kind of idol and anthem kind of thing. So.
And of course, then Pink's a little bit sort of on the scary side.
Oh yeah.
So people think I'm scary, including him. Which it can be.
Yeah, I'd prefer.
When he's playing up.
I'd have preferred to have sat that side. It's closer to the door in case I got the
So, what were the kind of like biggest like obstacles you found when you were first setting it up and getting out there?
A few, I suppose. If it's the pressure of like, oh, you've got to kind of like look the part. You've got to find a costume maker. There's many costume disasters I went through early on.
Really? Is there photo evidence of that?
Most likely, yeah. Try to eradicate it.
Yeah.
But my mum's pretty handy with costumes and stuff like that, so I'd be like, oh, fix it, or can you do this, or can you do that? She still does. So if we need to do something very quickly, or let's get that done, she'll volunteer her services. She's not a dressmaker, though, and she won't do it for other people, but I can twist her arm a little bit.
Tell you what I will say, bloody good costumes are expensive.
They are expensive.
Yeah.
Once you get into the whole rabbit hole of a tribute, wigs, costumes, shoes, it's a very expensive job.
Yeah, because they're not just wearing,
No, Cher is very specific stuff.
Yeah. I don't think Pink shops at Primark, I'm
No,
sure
I mean, she has like her rocky look that everyday
that
look.
Can't be still going, surely.
That shows how much she knows about fashion.
I'm showing my age.
There were one of those in the village I grew up in, and I'm pretty sure that no one ever...
He has trouble dressing himself.
Used to go, wasn't it?
How many times have you been like, what shall I wear?
Yeah, I don't know. I just do as I'm told.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
You tried to wear my Cher outfit not long ago.
Did I?
You ended up wearing my trousers the other week. That's the story.
Can't believe they fit you. They don't fit me.
Yeah. So the story about the trousers, side story, is we were at a Warner's gig only a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
He literally 2 minutes before we're on stage, he comes running around in his boxers, going, "I've forgotten my kilt."
Oh God.
Right, and he hadn't even got any trousers.
Yeah,
he just got like
me
these
emergency
jeans.
trousers, my black trousers for stage. Normally I've got them in the bottom of my bag.
Nothing.
I took them out to wash them.
Which doesn't happen that often.
No, it's at least twice a year. Most years.
I was like, can't you find it? Because in Warner's at backstage, there's lots of costumes and stuff. I was like, there's no trousers anywhere.
I thought their show team might have.
None.
They're all a bit sparkly. There's
some
great great costumes, some of them, but not appropriate for the show.
So I was like, well, the only trousers I had, which I incidentally I wasn't going to pack them, but I did. It's like these leather trousers I've got, which might fit you because and he managed to get them on there.
They didn't fit me, but I wore them. That was.
You just about managed to, and then like
They
you were
weren't
playing
done up.
guitar.
Yeah, they weren't done up.
I was like, will that cover any like the zip buck?
That covers a multitude. I was on bass when so the basses are a little bit bigger. It kind of helped. Helped a bit. That did.
I was like, this is not going unpunished on stage, not at all.
Got to point it out.
Tells everyone. And
I was like, can you guess whose trousers he's wearing? They all went, mine.
they're yours, aren't they?
We've all done it. I've put my wife Livy's jeans on before.
Have you?
Yeah, I can get in her jeans. She can't get in mine because she's got stronger legs than me.
You're not as fat as me.
I've got little chicken legs, so they'll probably fit in children's trousers.
Ain't no VAT on children's clothes.
But yeah,
Saves a fortune.
costumes. Yeah, I mean, in the Eurythmics show alone, the costumes. I do 6 changes in that.
Yeah.
Really?
Which is what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's like most of the acts you do
are very
big costume people,
based.
you know.
I mean,
Yeah, when you go and see someone, you know, I don't know.
I can't do like the blokes do and just get away with just rocking up.
No, you would just.
They're expecting as a Cher show. You expect
like
the drama of the
I always
costumes.
used to take my jacket off halfway through when it gets warm, but that's because I get warm.
Yeah, we're lucky really as musicians. We don't
I've
have to worry
spent
about
an
like,
awful lot of money on costumes. I've got a room just with costumes and wigs in it, basically.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Have you got the wigs on all the little heads as well?
Some of them, yeah.
Stopped at my mate's house who had that, and
Scare you.
it was terrifying. I woke up in the middle of the night. It was, we'd been somewhere. We'd been to a gig to see. Scooter was.
Oh yeah, you like
And then
Scooter.
and she says, just come back to mine after. We've got a spare room. It's really comfy. I said, oh yeah, cool. She didn't tell me it was her wig room. So I'm like,
This is the thing that happens when you're in this industry. You have a room.
Wig room.
Welcome to my room. You open the door, it's just full of stuff.
I had a few beers, so I was just like, good night. And she did some cheese on toast or something. So I'll see you in the morning. Gone to sleep. Woke up in the middle of the night and looked up, and and in the dark, in shadow.
It looks like people.
It's terrifying. And you're like, am I still asleep? Is this a nightmare? You're like,
all these severed heads
oh god,
Yeah, basically.
with immaculate hair.
yeah, great. They
But I mean, you start. I mean, my pink guys started a trend of wearing my clothes, and I don't even know how they started. They started just putting my jacket on, put my shirts on. Then they were like, "What else can we wear?" They're like, literally in the bag, going, "What can we wear of yours? Let's take photos." And then you started doing it as well.
That wasn't intentional.
No.
I did it by accident.
Yeah. The pink guys do it on purpose.
They fit some of the pink guys. They don't fit me.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, I'm gonna say that obviously Pink's like a big, influential person on you. Who were like the other people, kind of when you were like a child, you know?
Well, I mean, I
before
did
she
grow
kind
up
of come on the
listening to
scene.
Lennox as it goes, and but a lot of I think my dad's musical influences there. A lot of it because of sitting in the back of the car, he'd have his tunes on, you know, but like David Bowie, Elton John. I think he was a bit partial to Rod Stewart. It's not quite all my thing.
Could
But
do an
Beach
Elton
Boys,
John one. He's got a wing, hasn't he? So.
Yeah, Beach Boys, bit of that as
Female.
well. But then I got into the Beatles a lot, and then Queen, and then all the 80s big hair bands. And
I was going to say all that other stuff. I feel like I always had you down for Zeppelin, Sabbath, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC.
yeah, I do like those.
But I never kind of.
But back in like when you're really young, it's like And my dad listened to like Level 42. I love Level 42.
Yeah. That threw me when we started. When we travelled to
It's
gigs,
very
we had,
eclectic.
we have a music she got like 3 hours to kill. It's like, right, what should we listen to? And she goes, and I put Hall & Oates. She goes,
Hall & Oates, yeah.
Oh,
yes.
you like Hall & Oates?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a All and Oates record down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love them.
Love them.
Oh,
Yeah. But then I did get into more like proper rock. Like I do love Kiss. I've seen Kiss a couple of times. You went to see Kiss, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, it's such
I mean, as a show as well.
Oh,
and
it's incredible. It's just
had
like,
to do a show.
Is there a band on stage somewhere? Don't worry about it. It's like,
There's so much going on.
Oh, it's funny
it's
'cause
so good.
back in
They
the-
are incredible. So much charisma and.
When I
it's
was in
just-
my girl band day, we used to support a lot Dressed to Kill. And I
Did
know
you?
Ash and
Well,
Dressed to Kill.
They used to play JB's a lot.
Yeah,
didn't
did.
were there
They've
a
done
couple of
all. They've
times a
done
year.
everywhere. They've been going a long
Yeah,
time.
There was no health and safety at JB, so
They're
they could
like the
use all
go-to
They
band,
had their
aren't they, for
pyro.
kids?
They'd be there with the pyro, everything.
Yeah, they used to set shit on
And
fire.
as a tribute, I mean, they've been going 30-something years probably.
Wow.
So they're probably early doors as the tribute thing goes, in, you know, sort of the first people to do it.
They nailed it as well.
And that is how to do a show, really. Their show is a mini version of what you'd see Kiss do.
Yeah, they absolutely.
And I think there's a lot to take from going to see people like Dress to Kill, how to do your show, basically, and what you need to put in there. And
I always think that because like when you're talking about bands that have been going for that long, you talk about like Livewire, the AC/DC tribute, and Limehouse, Lizzie, Lizzie tribute. They've and then Mercury, Queen. They've all been going and like since I were at school. Some of those guys, I can remember seeing them when I first left school.
From those guys,
and they're doing it right. They play the big theatres. They put on a show. It's like you know. A lot of people probably don't really who's watching this might not know like that when you put on like theatre shows there's big costs before you even open the doors, isn't there? And that's before you even started driving the cars and the vans around,
and a lot of paperwork.
And so some people go into it and they don't put all that extra in where they might put a little bit more production into it, and but it's worth doing.
So when we started the Eurythmics thing, it was designed to be a theatre show initially. So that's where I was like, well, we've got to plan these things, these points within the show, as in the costume changes and what's going to happen, and
part of it at one point
and video screens,
video,
all that sort of stuff. So it's all
I was going to say,
thought about.
More and more places now have video walls, because over the last sort of 5 years, the cost of having a video wall is accessible now. It used to be a video wall, your LED video was just like, but everything's changed a bit.
Thank you, AliExpress.
Well, basically,
Other Chinese sites are available.
It's a Temu video wall. But it's so you see more and more venues with video walls, and they're still expensive, but they're accessibly expensive. But when people have them, they want to use them. So they go, oh, but if you've got video content, so you know, Stacy did a great job of all the video content, but you've got to keep in mind that's an hour and a half's worth of video content. That's a feature-length film's worth of video content. How long does it take them to make a movie? Do you know what I mean?
This is where we have to be jack of all trades as well, because I think between us we cover most things.
Most things, probably,
because I like do video editing and stuff like that, and I've got a degree in graphic design, so that's where my little bit comes in.
I've got a degree in graphic design.
So I do the posters and the advertising stuff, but you're the techie guy, all geeky. You like to
I've got
geek
a degree
out.
in University of bullshit.
Yes, donkey, you
yes,
have.
I've talked about this with other musicians before about like you do have to do everything in house now. I mean, but it is, like you say, it is accessible. There's things now that when I first started doing shows, like you'd probably have like one computer per household, and there were no smartphones. We were just a few years off of that. Just
no social media makes it much easier.
Because I've always been like a bit of a tech guy as well. You know, I was working sound engineer for 5-10 years, as well as, you know, other things. More recently I've got into lighting. I'm always a big advocate for encouraging people to learn how to do it, and themselves, even like you know, from your bloke at home singing on karaoke or whatever. It's like, here's, you know, you can learn how to do it. You can, you know, and if you go on to do gigs, clubs, pubs, but you know, all the way up to arenas, it's still useful skills to have. But it's never have we lived in a time when it's more accessible to learn how to do it. So all you got to do is go on YouTube and go lighting design 101. How DMX software, and it's half of it's cheap or free, and you can just sit there. You could just spend a week and become an expert on almost anything on YouTube.
I think if you have to do
flying
something,
a plane,
then
like, you know.
if you're thrown in the deep end, like someone's going, oh, I need this from you to do this, then you're like, well, I've got to go and find out what that's about, and you have to learn very quickly.
I think that's a really good point. I think most of the stuff I've learned has sort of almost been through necessity. Or what have I've seen as necessity. It's like, right, I need to learn how to do that now. Okay, you know. But of course, back in our day, we're obviously only about 20, so this is our day, you know. But the Google and YouTube generation it's never been more accessible to just pick something to learn about and just do it. It's you know, I wish that 25 years ago, when I was starting out, those sorts of resources were available.
Life easier,
We just had to get a job doing it and
find somebody else who knew how to do
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
because somebody showed you how to do it. I mean, I did do some stuff at college and uni, but most of it you learn on the fly, you know, from just doing it and cocking it up. But basically, but it's now you can actually go on the internet, find out all the ways to cock it up, and then make sure you don't do it. You know.
I think even when you do know everything as well, it's like you don't really learn properly till you're out there and things start going wrong.
Yeah, well, you're a working musician, you know what it's, you know, you don't, until stuff goes wrong, you don't learn the importance of having redundancies.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know. Yeah,
there's I mean, it's come straight to my mind the weekend that's just passed. We've got like an in-ear monitors rack. We were just talking about that before we started this recording, and for some reason the power went off for it halfway through a song, so no one could hear anything or each other. So I think it was probably about 20-30 seconds into the song, so we stopped it for a minute, and our bass player, who is also a tech guy, runs a big production company, so he's like yourself, straight round there behind the side scrims, fixing it all, doing
Turn
something.
it off and on again.
So I just went straight into like idiot mode and just like, right, I need to entertain 405
That's
people.
what happens.
That's it.
So I just got them singing Bohemian Rhapsody. And they sang it all.
See, but that'll Sweet Caroline, so you chose the right one.
But you do, don't you? You just once you get out there, it's like you can equip yourself at home, but
yeah, that's something you
absolutely
you have to be in those positions a few times and balls it up. And
most things are teachable. Some things you've just got to, you know, learn the hard way.
Yeah,
and there's no way you can't explain to someone how to do that. If there was a young person who said, "Oh, what's important to know about," and you told them that, they wouldn't get it.
Yeah,
until they've been stood there, going.
I just try and pretend that I'm amongst a bunch of mates in a pub, and I just start chatting absolute crap to them. Because I remember going to see Graham Bonnet from Rainbow, probably about 8 to 10 years ago now, and he'd got all keyboards on backing tracks, and the Mac went down halfway through the gig, and it wasn't working again. It just wouldn't reboot for whatever reason, and while they were trying to kind of plumb in a backup Mac that had not booted up yet and loaded all the stuff up. Even someone that's done it all around the world, he kind of like ran out of things to say and just kind of went, "Has anyone got any jokes?" And I was like, wow, that's just like something that we would all say in a pub corner if we were struggling and all kind of music went off.
It always feels so much longer as well. Whilst you're the one standing there in that. It might be like 30 seconds, but it feels like 10 minutes.
I think once I start talking to audience to Phil, it feels longer for them than it does for me.
I think I have that as well. Because some people are just going, just shut up.
Shut up. I sometimes do that. Like if I do a solo gig and you're just going to press play, it's like I'll start talking. I think I need to get on with songs here, because at least if it's a band, the drummer just gets fed up and just starts falling.
I can completely 100% relate to that. You've been to my solo shows, haven't you? It's horrendous. It's a horrendously interesting experience. I'd like to think.
Experience is the word.
When I first started doing solo shows, I just put like all my favourite songs in. Didn't care what anybody else wanted to hear, and it were all kind of rock stuff, and I were doing like loads of Toto and Europe and all sorts of stuff like that. And then after a while, I were like, these old dears are here.
You realise quickly.
I'm singing like Dean Martin now and 24 Hours to Tulsa and things like that. But I like it though as well.
Sometimes that can be. Tell you the one for me, because sometimes you discover music through the necessity of this is what they want to hear. Go, it's not really my thing, but I'll learn it and I'll do it. Then you go, that's cool music, that is. The one for me is ABBA.
Okay,
I got roped into...
Likes his spandex as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
I already had the outfit.
Hanging in the wardrobe. Might not be washed, but
a bit of a theme here.
I work with an ABBA tribute, and they do a few depths for other ones. But it's like you think of ABBA, you think, bubblegum pop music, 70s, 80s, and
it's really well written stuff.
Films.
Oh, it's amazing.
And it's like, oh God, you listen to the songs,
pop.
learn them, and if you're producing a track, you're like, this is incredible. This is so perfectly made. They're not just like, you know, 3-chord songs. They've got hooks, melody, grooves. You listen to an ABBA album and you can see why they were so successful. The variety of grooves through the album, the genres they touch on. So they never go fully into a genre. There's a bit of disco, but it's not disco. It's still ABBA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's so, and it's like, oh, that's an electric guitar with a phaser on it. It's like, oh yeah, you know. And they're so versatile. It's like, you know, they say the best written songs come up in every genre, you know. It's like you see Beatles songs being done as metal songs or reggae songs, or, you know, and they're ABBA, another one where it's like, it's such a well-written song. It's a well-written song, it'll work, whatever you do to it.
Yeah, on that subject, we were coming back from some shows at the weekend, and we were listening to an album called Swedish Hits Goes Metal, and I first heard it like maybe 10-12 years, probably longer actually.
They're on YouTube, the guy with the long blonde hair.
Yeah, he's like, awesome. He looks like a young Meatloaf.
Yes, but with blonde hair, and they're a bit Megadethy kind of vibes, aren't they? But they're so good.
But he could sing everything. He can scream. He's got the rasp. He's got the clean. He's got the nice melodic tones, and he can shred. But I was like, it's bashing out these ABBA songs. I thought,
brilliant.
It sounds like they were written to be metal songs because they sound great.
Yeah, I love those guys. They're on YouTube, and every so often I sort of go, let's have a watch. It's like, it just works, you know.
The guy that plays the rhythm guitar in that band, because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, he sang in a band that we toured with when they came over from a completely different band that does his own stuff as well. So and then as I kind of like dove into it all, I noticed that they were all, it's a bit incestuous. They all just seem to be all in each other's bands, and everyone's doing things with different people.
It circles back to what we were saying at the beginning. Really. Just, you know, if there's beer and money, you know, then, you know what I mean, you know, if there's a dog, even better. You know, limited criteria. Does the music matter? Oh,
simple for you, isn't it?
It's a simple equation. Very simple equation.
It helps bring all those things towards you, doesn't it? They just kind of, you know, radiate towards you.
I feel like this is like careers advice. You could do, you know, when you do your thing at school, you do the questionnaire and say, what career are you going to choose? Like, what do you like? Oh, I like beer and stuff. And I like a bit of money. And
well, the irony here is my form tutor at high school said, "Oh, you'll never make a living out of music."
Yeah. And here we are.
Sorry, there we go. Yeah. You can.
That might be an interesting topic to touch on. So, I'll throw a question in for you. So, tell us about your school. Is there anyone you still see from school?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Who's that then?
Well, in our band.
Oh.
This is in our band. Is my actual music teacher from school.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep. Plus,
and what about when you were working as a teacher?
Anyone I used to be a teacher. I used to be an art teacher, secondary school art teacher. I did that for about, between the training and the supply teaching, I did it for about 10 years.
Wow. Was it that long?
Yeah.
I thought it was only for blimey.
Yeah, it just So I was always doing music and singing or something in a capacity throughout that time, and then I started doing the tribute stuff and got into like the holiday parks and all those rounds. So it was starting to take over, and you know that's the point where you've got to make a decision of like, okay. So then I went part-time teaching, and then the whole music thing just took over. So I just took the plunge and went straight for just doing the singing. Yeah. So, but whilst I was teaching, I actually went back to take up a permanent position at my old high school.
Right.
So by then my music teacher had left, but he'd become the head of the music, you know, in that area. So he'd pop in occasionally and pop into my classroom and say hello. And then years later I was like, do you know any musicians who want to join a band? And he was like, well, I'll join your band. It's like, here we are 3 years later. Now I'm his boss, essentially.
Yeah. The tables have turned.
The tables have turned, yeah.
There's a song here, some homework. Can you learn that for me?
Yeah.
And your old headmaster?
Well, no, he wasn't that.
Wasn't he your headmaster?
No, he was in. So Hank is also someone I've known since I was about 14. So when I was at high school, so Hank, our bass player who stands in for you, and he's in and out of stuff that we do. Yeah. He's friends with my music teacher, so he was a music teacher at the same time at a different school.
I thought he was your headmaster.
But then he he took over my music teacher's job. Then went up to be senior management whilst I was teaching there. So yes, he was my boss. Yeah. But now I'm his boss. Yeah. It's all very weird. Wow. But it's nice because...
do you feel like now it's like payback time?
Payback in a good way. It's payback in a good way because obviously my music teacher, Chris, is still within that field of work. He's cut down his time a little, his days per week. So I think eventually the plan is he wants to do music full time as well. So I feel like I've kind of helped him get back into what he wants to do rather than what he's doing.
Passion rather than
so it comes full circle. So he enabled me to find a passion for music, and now I'm doing this. And it's come full circle.
Oh, so it's like some sort of good karma to all the teachers out there.
Giving back into
student, and one day
it's a nice, beautiful story.
I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
They'll do a film about it.
No, you're crying.
There you go.
So when I talk to other people, their music departments were always amazing. Mine were just rubbish.
Really? So ours was great.
It probably shows to me. It were just
I feel like you've overcompensated for something.
I will buy every instrument.
Yeah.
But
there's a grand piano over there. Oh, baby grand.
Yeah. If you can get to it.
Yeah.
All the speakers.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason why the cameras don't show everything in here.
Did you have a good music department in your school? Mine wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, we as a band, that's where I started as being a band, and Chris had a lot to do with that.
The girls, And
we went into the competition, which was Rock the Castle, talking about
Dudley Castle by JB's.
Rock the Castle, if anyone remembers that. We won it as a girl band the second year running.
What were you called?
We won. Oh. I mean, at the time we were called something ridiculous, but I will say we were called Onyx.
Oh, that's not a bad name.
Yeah.
Is there another name?
There was, but I'm not even going to repeat it.
Oh, go on! You can't do that to us.
They'll all kill me for telling everyone.
Because it's not suitable for the internet?
No, it was just a stupid daft name.
It's not like Baby Eaters or something like.
No, it was just a silly daft name.
Oh, please tell us.
You've got to tell us now.
Go on.
It was originally 4, because there was 4 of us.
Yeah.
Piece, as in piece.
4-piece.
Sweet, as in a sweet.
Your 4-piece
The play on a word of a 4-piece suite.
Oh, 4-piece suite!
But we very quickly changed our name to Onyx.
Yeah, that's like a dad joke.
Yeah, it was a bit cheesy.
I think for like a girl band, it's definitely not a sexy name.
No,
that, is it? Yeah.
It was just a silly name at the time.
Well, did you come up with it? That's somebody's dad.
I can't even remember how it came about.
Why
to be
don't
honest,
you call yourselves 3-piece suite? Because there's 3 of you, or 4-piece suite. There's 4 of you.
I have no idea where we came up with it.
And you're all so sweet.
One of the girls will tell me. I'm still friends with them, so they'll probably tell me where it came from. I can't remember. But we ended up winning the second year running and won £1,000 for the music department. So that got spent on.
That went downhill quickly.
Well, we got
£1,000.
we won the money, but we also got a recording session at Ali Campbell's studio.
Oh, Depp,
Depp in Birmingham, the UB40 studio.
Cool.
We made a record, basically, a little EP record. We were all like 15 at the
time. Can it be heard anywhere? Is it online?
It's got to be on the internet somewhere, surely.
I don't think that particular recording is anywhere online.
You had one job.
But there's some old songs of ours that are probably online. Yeah.
One job.
Do you have the old masters then of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember a DAT?
Yeah.
A DAT.
The little DAT, or are you talking about a DAT?
The small like
Video
DAT, like
little
yeah,
DATs.
yeah.
Oh dear, yeah, they were right. Digital
yeah,
audio
you needed
cassette.
a player to play it. It was
For all
like
the
the
kids
master
listening, it's a
tape.
digital audio cassette. It was the cheapest way fairly cheap to record 16-bit 44.1 K audio at the time. Because that's what the ADAT recordings or reel-to-reel. That was analog at the time, but it was the precursor to mini disc, I suppose. Really, because it was re-recordable, wasn't it?
That kind of came and went, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you'd be surprised.
We had
still
that
some
record.
people...
We made other recordings after that point because then our band just evolved, and I don't know. Do you know Pete Boot from Budgie? Prog rock band Budgie, 70s.
I know Budgie. I didn't know the guys' names in it.
Yeah. Well, Pete Boot. I can't remember how we came across meeting Pete. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. Pete and his wife Nancy, and we got quite involved with them. And then it ended up, after a while, that Pete Boot actually was our drummer. It was very strange. There's photo evidence. We played the Robin Hood 2 with Pete Boot as our drummer. And he was with us for a while, whilst we didn't have a drummer, right?
So he was your Depp drummer?
Yeah, for a time. Yeah. It's like, he was living his best life at the time. He was in his 50s, and he'd been diagnosed with Parkinson's at the time. So by keeping up with the drumming, helped him.
Helped, yeah.
So it was all a bit weird, and then we kind of got in. He knew Mick Hughes, which is Metallica's sound engineer, and we met Mick Hughes quite a few times, and he did our sound on one of Pete's shows that he always held. And then Mick was like, "Oh, we kind of offered us to go to America," and yeah, it was a big deal. It was a big deal, and do like, you know, whatever stuff as a girl band, like rock band, and
so it was AOR time as
yeah,
well.
but at that time we were kind of like, our drummer had left and Pete was drummer for us, and we were all just falling apart basically. So that was the end of that. That never happened, but you know, that was my little brush with fame, if you like. But it never happened. So, and then we all just disbanded and didn't do anything for a couple of years, and then me and one girl got back together and we did all the glam rock stuff. So, and then I went in tribute, and here I am. But yeah,
there's a lot of people out. I don't want to guess as well that get these moments where it could have gone
completely differently.
Yeah.
We've all got that, haven't we? Yeah. Somewhere along the
And
line.
I would have had to get through like 4 people to get to you then. Yeah, it's not fun. You see, when you were talking about all these DATs and things like that, it's like
memories,
most of the people that I have on here, we always kind of feel like we have to explain certain things because either people are around my age or a bit older than things like that. So it's like I can't imagine people that are like 17 are watching this.
Okay, we'll be all right. Oh, you never know.
Never know, but
I don't know. Would this be considered nostalgic, or I don't know?
Showing our age. That's definitely what we're doing here, which is not good.
I'm down with the kids. Like, I'm hip.
Even when I was about 28, I went and worked in kids care after just doing music for like 7.5 years, and I thought I need some structure here.
Yeah.
Which, if you want structure, don't go into that direction. And I thought, I'm still kind of cool and still with it, and I know what's going on, and they're like, literally got no idea what they're saying. It's like a different language.
They come up with new stuff all the time. I'm being a teacher. There's always some new words that we're coming up with, and slang words and stuff like that. So you'd have to catch on pretty quick.
Yeah. Oh, emojis. I had a mate as a teacher had to go on a course.
Emojis mean different
about
things.
The alternate meanings to emojis.
Right.
Combinations
Very
of
rude.
emojis. They are.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, because like if they pick up on something that's happening in you know, they can report it or whatever. But yeah, there's like certain combinations of emojis are like, oh bloody, they're like quite graphic. Some of them.
Some of them are quite obvious, aren't they? Really?
Yeah. Some of them are definitely.
They use like certain ones for like codes for substances or plans for like if they're going to go and raid something.
It's terrifying. Yeah, so he was telling us about it, and it's quite clever. Some of them, I'll give him credit where it's due. It's like that's actually quite imaginative, you know. And they say the kids of today don't have imagination. They do. Might not be using it in the right places.
They're literally just sat absorbing crap all day, aren't they, on the phones? It's like there's so much stuff being shown to them, and like you say, everything's accessible now. You can learn how to do anything pretty much, which is a worrying thing. There's people that show you how to break into houses and vans and stuff on YouTube, and like guys who deal with locks and stuff, and they show you how to do all sorts of things.
All in trouble.
We're in the wrong business.
In trouble.
And I bet they're earning advertising revenue and all sorts. It's like, what is that? Oh, that's wrong on so many levels.
That makes us
they've
stupid,
got all.
we're the idiots.
We're the idiots.
They've got all your premium subscription, and they've got all your stuff.
Robbed us twice.
They're smarter than politicians, aren't they? Smarter than the tax man.
So, you're saying you do the Cher thing as well, then?
Yes.
So, is that just solo? Is there a band with that?
Yeah.
You guys got that? Yeah.
So that's only happened quite recently.
Yeah.
I tried many attempts to get that as a band off the ground, and it just kept failing because people are letdowns. Let's put it like that. But we're going to do that, and then then
Just
like
wanna
a
go
little bit,
solo
and then they
sometimes.
just disappear, or they got an
Yeah.
excuse, or
A lot of musicians are a certain personality type, shall we say, and others aren't, and it's
hard to
sometimes
find a
hard to
like-minded.
navigate.
Yeah, hard to find people who, like yourself, are quite dedicated to something
Yeah.
and stick with it. But like I kept trying, and like it failed, and then Pink came up, did that. That's solid, and then the Eurythmics thing came up, sort that one out. That had a couple of starts on and off until these guys joined in.
Save the day.
Save the day, yeah. Oh, I'm just
You're
going to get a big
you're
head
welcome.
now.
You're welcome. Yeah. It's all right. I'll stick
So
on the
Cher
tab.
got put on the back burner, and as the sort of three main things I do, Cher being the first thing they ever did, it's the longest running I've done, has become the one that people know me least for now,
Yeah, I was
probably.
gonna say, I knew you,
Because of the whole look as well. It's a transformation.
Yeah.
It's a proper stars in your eyes transformation. I mean,
so you can go back to my perception of you. Cher was the main one I sort
Yeah.
of associated you with, but partly because it's how you sort of almost naturally sing anyway.
yeah, it is the more natural
You-
voice of mine.
Yeah, a lot of Cher's, the natural thing for Cher, you go,
Yeah.
Vic Reeves.
but it's
Yes.
it's the over exaggerated thing, and that's
Yeah.
what a lot of tributes doing. It's that's fine.
Yeah.
but it's just kind of how you.
That's why
sing,
people kept
yeah,
saying to me, "You
rock
sound
chick,
like you
basically,
sound
like
her."
You know.
I was like, really? But I had more. I think my vibrato has kind of disappeared a little bit more these days by doing the other stuff.
Yeah.
But originally, I had a very more natural, quicker vibrato, which was more Cher-like. So it's just something that's kind of like the others have surpassed it. It's not. I
I'd
do
say you've had
it
to work harder on the other ones, especially the Eurythmics.
because that's why I put that one off for so long,
Yeah.
because it's a different vocal
it's not-
completely.
yeah, it's so
Although I
different.
find it strange because there's not many Annie Lennox tributes about, but the ones that I've seen do it, they tend to do Cher as well, which I found interesting.
Cher right. Why? Because they
Because if
probably
you
also do
do-
Cher tributes.
Yeah, because if you do listen to Annie Lennox vocal, now that I've said that, you
Yeah.
probably hear a bit of Cher going on in there, and it's a very fine line sometimes.
You get confused sometimes while you're on stage.
Because she's got that deep tone in there as well.
Your accent's all over the place on stage.
But because
Scottish
Annie's
today,
a very more
American today.
operatic, theatrical
Yeah.
head,
Soul-y as well.
she's
it's sort of
gospelly,
quite a-
soul-y.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of falsetto things going on as well, which was never me being a rock singer. You don't do falsetto, do you? So I had to get my head around that, like by trying to talk myself out of going for a note and doing it more in falsetto or head voice.
Yeah.
So it took a while to get into.
Yeah. I have to say, when you first mentioned it, it's like, I don't think that's really your bag, Bab. I think
That's why I put it off. I put it off for a year or so.
She said, no, I'm working. I heard it. It's like, fair
Working
play.
on
Okay.
it, working
you
on it,
worked hard on
working
that,
at
because
it.
that's not how, it's just so different style
Yeah.
of singing. I've got to,
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair dues, Bab. You did all right there. You worked hard, and you.
So you have to switch mentally between. But I think costumes help, because when you put
Yeah.
a costume on, you get in that. But I do feel with Cher, I've always done it. I always sit backstage and I will watch a bit of Cher, listen to a concert, because of her talking as well. Because she's got quite this very monotone, dry way of speaking. It's almost very southern as well, and it's a particular accent, and that comes across in your singing as well.
I always thought, because I noticed when I first heard her, when they were singing Sonny and Cher, I got you, babe, and I'm thinking, she's singing the low bit and he's singing the high bit. And it's like, that's normally quite unheard of and stuff.
Yeah, that actually threw me when we first said, when we started doing the Cher, it's like, no, you've got to do Sonny. Okay.
He has to do the duet parts.
Yeah. And Meatloaf. What?
Yeah, Meatloaf.
I'm like, I can sing, but I'm not like a singer, so I had to work really hard on it all as well. But yeah, the Sonny stuff's probably easier because it's very nice. It's folky
very Bob
singing.
Dylan-y,
Yeah, Bob
folky,
Dylan. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, okay. But you listen to a recording of that though. That's something I found interesting. You listen to how Cher sings on the recording of that. I always felt like she sings more like Sonny sings. Like over time,
it was
she's
very
more,
early, wasn't it?
Yeah, she's
So-
more found her own identity and her own
she
voice.
broke
over the years.
away.
Yeah. Anyway, on the side.
Yeah, but then you do that, don't you? Play guitar on the Cher thing. And
Yeah.
Get lots of abuse from me.
Yeah. That's apparently my role in life now.
Yeah.
Don't get to wear a kilt for that one though.
No.
I think that's bands in general, though. You start building up a bit of a bond where you just you get what you need to get done, and then you just spend the rest of that headspace that you've freed up, not having to concentrate, going, I'll just take the piss out of each other.
I think it's if you do it in the right way, and you still got to be professional. But I think there's a certain amount people get a kick out of that when they watch people on stage. I don't know what a good analogy would be without it sort of maybe coming across the wrong way. A pit band for a musical. They're all reading off the darts or whatever. There's a musical director counting them in, or an orchestra even. There never seems like there's any personality sort of rapport there, is there? Whereas something I enjoy watching is when you go and see a band and they just look like they're mates and they love doing what they're doing.
That's what I like about being in a band.
You get a kick out of that. It's like, it's something inherently engaging about watching a group of people like the Beatles, who were just like mates down the pub. And they said, should we start a band? Yeah, let's do a skiffle band. Was it skiffle? It was a skiffle band first. And it's like, we've earned a bit of money doing that, It's like, and we could be in the pub. And it just, do you know what I mean? They're mates first. And
I think a lot of tributes, that's the way it's done. They have readers, they have session depths. So that they can just go whatever date there's somebody going to be there. Whereas I come from a band background. I mean, so I like a band to be just that, like you say, a unit.
It's certainly more fun doing it because I've done kind of reading jobs like depping and stuff.
I've done a bit of depp,
and it's you do it, and it's good for networking, and it's you still enjoy it. But it keeps you on your toes certainly. But the more fun ones are where you just like.
I mean, our Pink shows are all about that, because I would always try and get every one of the guys in the band to share the limelight. It's not just about me being there. Yeah. Otherwise, I could do that solo. It's about the guys around me, providing it.
But that's what Pink does, doesn't she? She really showcases like lead guitarists and things like that.
I make sure they all have a moment.
She brings the backing singers to the front with her to do stuff, and they'll sit down acoustic.
She's like, look how great these guys are. Just great. But some people are grateful to be there. Some people think they deserve it. I think it's better to be the person who's grateful to be there.
I'm a guitar player, Dave. I mean, he has his moment.
Dave,
he had a chant,
they love Dave.
Chant, Dave.
Yeah, the girls like Dave. He's a good-looking lad.
He can play that guitar
great
pretty
guitar
well.
player. But
Matt's got a new fan club, our drummer.
Yes,
because some lady decided he looked like Jesus, which he does actually. So of course I picked up. I was like, but this is not going away. So I keep introducing him, and he looks like Jesus, and they all love it.
So you're touching on political
it's all
stuff.
that bit of kind of like Russell Brandy, Jared Leto type of look, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's white Jesus.
Oh, well, he just looks a bit like Jesus, so it's the joke, and he's got a fan club now. He's actually got a fan club.
They
just like
Gareth
JC.
comes in, steals the show at the end with the song.
Does the Rag and Bone song, and they go, he's very handsome as well. Oh, look at his beard, it's a lovely beard. See, I hear it all. I'm out. I'm on sound for. I've been sound the lights for the
and then Dan's got his moody vibe.
Yeah, but they always stay. There's still a few.
They've all got a fan club.
Yeah, believe it or not, it's the majority of the audience at Pink shows is, drunk women. Let's call it what it is.
So the guys that's in the band are just buzzing then, aren't they?
Yeah. They're just fodder, really, aren't they? They're just lambs to the slaughter. I feel bad for them. It's tough.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. It's a job.
We find it like in our tribute. It's like the because obviously it's like rock set and stuff. So it's so my wife's out there like up front singing. I do some singing and stuff, but I get dressed up like Fed, and it's very 80s. And then the other guys, it's like just dress how you want to dress, because I know you were handpicked because you're amazing players, you're nice people, because we know you already, and you all look cool. So it's like. They just, like you said, as soon as they go out front to go to the bar afterwards, it's just women swimming off swinging off the neck.
Yeah, the kilt does that sometimes. Actually, as well. But I mean, it's
Is that why you wear it?
no, well, there was
They're not trying to do any kind of upskirting on you.
yeah, no,
before.
that's exactly what they do. There was one woman, they do. I came out with you for photos. So I always want to get a photo with her because
Oh,
she
yeah,
looks
yeah.
great in the costumes. And they was like, she don't half look like her, doesn't she? You know, and so it goes out for the meet and greet and that. And so somebody's got to go with her, and I think I volunteered for some
You did,
insane
yeah.
reason. And this woman, they were. There's a few drunk women at Eurythmics gigs as well. You know. They enjoy the show. But she stands next to me. She goes, "No, I want you in the picture as well. I love your kilt or whatever." So she's sort of there, and you're there, and then she goes, "Oh, I love that kilt," and she goes, "Oh, that's me nan over there. She's going to take the photo." She goes, "All right." And she goes, "Oh, I love the kilt," and she whipped it up. And I was like, "So, well, you are wearing something underneath there." It's like, "No, you've just flashed your man." It's like, she's there, like, sweating and stuff.
It's Russian roulette if he's wearing anything under there. That's
Yeah, it depends on the weather, you know. But yeah,
The time of year, yeah.
yeah. That was a summer gig, so
Yeah.
But yeah.
What week?
She was
What
like,
week did it fall on?
It was. I can't remember. Oh, God. Yeah. It was like that. It's like no. It's like, people just think you're doing it for. It's like no. That's the point. Is the benefit of the,
Yeah.
the airflow, and you know, it's a
That's what he keeps telling everybody.
It's a well thought out decision. And of course, how I got my nickname Donkey.
No, it's not.
Sticking
Two
to it.
words,
Sticking
Donkey.
to it. Two words.
So I know from obviously my wife reporting back on what it's like to be in a band with a bunch of guys. What's your experience of it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I prefer it. I've always been.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with
I
me.
yeah, even you. I mean, like I say, initially band-wise, I was a girl band, rock band, but I always gravitate towards the guys because I don't know.
Hussy.
I don't know. No, it's not like that. It's just I like the banter.
Yeah.
It's more my personality type. I think it's
Yeah,
just
there's
the
a
banter.
lot of banter.
Yeah. I mean, these guys love to call each other a particular word
Yeah.
that begins with C. In an affectionate
Cracking.
way.
Cracking guys.
In an affectionate way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the most used.
And they
Term-
make
term
a
of
lot of
endearment.
smells. You
Not
lot
me.
do.
Not me. I'm the for a change. I'm the least smelliest person in the band.
It's almost as good as the Pink show we did. And
Oh, Dan.
just before we went on stage, I heard someone throwing up.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like,
yeah.
oh my God, what's going on? We're like literally
Late
to be
on stage. Can't be late on stage at theatre.
I went round the corner.
I'm not what are they doing?
I went round the corner and Dan, our bass player, was throwing up in the sink in the green room. I was like, what's the matter? He was laughing whilst he's throwing up. He was like, the smell.
So
Someone had done a very particular smell in the toilet round the corner, which was like just
A bit rough.
intoxicating.
Yeah.
And he's got a particular thing about smells, and he was literally throwing
yeah. So there's one for all the people who want to be musicians or are musicians and that. Consider your diet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because because there's not that much available at 12 o'clock 2 a.m. to eat. So sometimes your diet can, what you eat can lapse a bit. There's consequences to that.
Yeah, and you're not on your own very often, are you?
No.
There's other people to
Yeah,
consider.
you're always in a van or there's
Yeah.
there's
But these like
consequences.
the worst with the smells.
I'd still say I'm a bit gutted, but like I'm not the worst one.
No, you're not.
I feel like I've lost my title.
No, you're not.
It's the drummer, isn't it? That's horrendous. I don't know what he eats. Definitely needs a bit of foliage in his diet. A bit of fibre.
See, we just after last weekend, so we've used it 2 weekends. We've got a plug-in cool box. So we've got a cool box with blocks in, which is great. Well, no. Because they've got stuff in the fridges, like you put
Okay.
beers and waters
Yeah,
out and stuff like that. But like we were staying in hotels and.
Minibar.
Well, yeah, we were just like, we can
Yeah.
put stuff in there.
Yeah.
So
That's
like,
what you needed the other week. We went to Glasgow.
Oh, messed up.
yeah.
I saved a day at Glasgow,
Yeah,
didn't
you
I?
did.
Because
Do you know about this? You played in Glasgow.
Scotland. Was it
multiple
just Glasgow or
times,
So
yeah.
Scotland?
you done a stopover in Glasgow, or do you generally come back? 'Cause you're not too far, are you?
Oh no, it was quite far from here.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's
we played in
across,
Paisley.
yeah.
We played in
Yeah.
Paisley quite recently, and then went down to Cumbria. It's a good 4.5 hours
Really? So
on a
is it-
steady
yeah,
run.
You're on the wrong side, aren't you? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, with a stop.
So it's been a long time since I've done Glasgow and stopped over. And we were stopping over, so it was Middlesbrough, was it, the day after?
Yeah.
So it was like up and then on the way back. So we stopped over. No, sorry, to Premier Inn, wasn't it?
Premier Inn, yeah.
That's what we did all the way through this tour we're still doing now.
Beds are so comfy. But what a lot of Premier Inns don't have is a bar. However, I was chatting, I think it was...
They're all going, we'll get some beers after.
So after the gig, let's get some beers. We go, if they got, at least if they haven't got a bar at the hotel, we go back to somebody's room, have a few beers. We haven't got to be up early the next day. It was like, yeah. And it was like, yeah, it's a great idea. So I'm chatting to one of the techs at the theatre in like half time, about a couple of minutes before they're about to go on. And I said, what are you guys doing after? And they said, no, it's good. I said, okay, where's the nearest off licence? So there's one around the corner. He said, but it'll be closed. So, what?
The worst news ever.
So, what do you mean? We'll be off
Why
stage.
bother telling you that? There's none open round here.
So I was like, okay, well, it's got to be a 24-hour petrol station. I mean, just get a few tinnies and, you know. And he goes, oh, no, you don't understand. You can't buy alcohol for consumption off premises in Glasgow after 10 p.m.
Really?
Though you were all gutted, weren't you?
And it was like, I thought, I was like, no, you're having me on. I was like, this is a wind
See, I
up.
came prepared.
Yeah, so yeah. Well,
So I'd raid the fridge before I go, put it in the bag.
Sort of prepared. I mean, you did, and we were grateful. I was very grateful.
I'd had an ale that I'd swiped from somewhere else.
Yeah, an alcohol-free ale.
And I thought, he'd like that, so I kept it and I took it with me.
Yeah. And then, so we ended up going back to hers. We ended up in your room because you were the only one with anything to drink.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on then, what you got? Not baby sham, baby cham
It was
from
baby
Aldi.
sham. It was old school.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't branded baby. It was like Aldi's own baby sham.
Oh, it wasn't
Baby
from Aldi.
Cham.
It was not.
Where'd you get
It
it
was
from?
from B&M, actually.
B&M.
Other stores are
That's
available.
worse.
You know what happens when you go in B&M?
Yeah,
you just walk around and it tells you what to buy. So it told me to buy baby
Yeah,
sham.
that's fair. Yeah, that is how B&M
But,
works.
you know, you
And then there
drank
was some pre-made cocktails. They were quite nice, actually.
Yeah,
But yeah, we were
yeah,
grateful. They didn't
Had
last very
alcohol.
long. You're like, oh, that's what we get. You got anything? No, that's it. Okay, go to bed. Yeah, that was
Beggars can't be choosers, can they?
Weekend that was. The fact that to find out when you're all set for a stopover.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't buy any beer. Yeah, but
Somebody's going to sell beer.
Even if you've got to do a 20-minute trip to find the
This doesn't
petrol,
happen in
24-hour
our
petrol
place,
station.
does it? Doesn't it happen in...
We did it at a
Pride.
venue last year that I'd previously for years gone drinking at for like till early hours at morning, like sun coming up and stuff, and you can stay there. And I'd got lots of friends in the area, and then we're like, I'm not been here for a long time. I play a gig. Oh, let's all stay. Yeah. And then 30 minutes after everything had all finished, they went, yeah, we lock up. No one stays anymore. We're like, oh no, we're all stuck here and we can't get any drinks. We can't do anything.
Where was that? It wasn't Yardbirds, was it?
It's
It used to be a good one for that.
the Diamond.
The Diamond, yeah.
Because I used to sometimes leave there at like 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning and get a taxi through drive-through.
I stayed at
To
the
get
Diamond
breakfast.
last year.
So that sounded like
Did a
Yardbirds
back-to-back
or
gig.
Diamonds because they put you up there.
It's not.
They said, oh yeah, stay over. And I was like, well, you're the only one here. I was the only person. They
It's
locked
a bit
up.
quite
Yeah.
spooky,
I was the only person in the building.
But years ago it used to be like just going non-stop. They'd put food on bar as well because it was just like crazy. But I mean, to be fair, you know, the owners are not like 50 anymore, so they can. I mean, if it were my venue, I'd probably be like, right. First set's going to be at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I want you all out by 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doom scrolling by 8:30 with my feet up in silence.
Yeah.
It's pretty creepy staying on your own in there though. Like literally just
it's
me walking around the time.
Yeah.
It's all the decor and stuff. There's all the pictures and the memorabilia on the wall. It's such a cool venue.
Yeah.
We played a place in Blackpool that had a similar kind of vibe recently called the Waterloo.
I've gone past it.
Yeah.
And
it's like from the outside you wouldn't even really think that it had got the stuff inside that it's got. We've never been before until quite recently. I was just like, just a cool place, like characters, like quite like rocky, rough and ready type of thing. It's nice to play like a polished theatre, but it's nice to play stuff with a bit of character as well. You know,
music,
like JB's.
Yeah.
Did you ever use the shower backstage? No, I see somebody did use it once.
And then never again.
No, they just.
It was
more that they didn't use it as a shower.
Yeah.
They used it as something else.
Yeah.
Nice.
The people used to do that before Yardbirds at Grimsby became huge. It had like a little room in the back with a shower, and then people were always like having a piss in it, and I'm like, why?
Did you have to go upstairs to the toilet or something? I can't remember now. So they had all the bunk beds, didn't they?
You do now. They've got another because they've took it all the way back.
Yeah,
and it's great. It's huge there now.
It's brilliant. Yeah,
and then it's you go upstairs.
Yeah.
We played this weekend just gone for the third year running with this tribute, and the first year we went with the tribute, I'd better go for that precautionary piss before 30 seconds before the intro starts.
Yeah.
And the lock was stuck for the toilet.
No.
I couldn't get it open, and as I were pushing at it,
were you in or out?
I were in.
You were in the toilet.
I couldn't get out, and the intro's going, and I pulled at it, and it moved, and it split my thumbnail down the middle, which only hurt whenever it were catching, but that's the hand that were over my plectrum, so I put loads of electrician's tape around it.
Yeah.
First 4 songs, it just sweated and come off, and then I were trying to play at a weird angle that, because every time I strum, I were pulling at this nail to pull it off. We were there this weekend, and someone's took the lock off. There's just no lock at all.
Yeah, best to be safe than sorry.
Yeah. They might have been worried how we're going to claim.
Yeah.
£4 for cover the plaster.
Maybe, yeah. No, they're a good lot up the Yardbirds. I love the gaffers there. They're so friendly.
Yeah, we've always been looked after there this week.
Oh yeah, they don't mess about with looking after you. So what do you want to drink? Oh, just a beer or something.
Yeah.
Have a crate.
Yeah.
Cheers, lads.
That's what we were just sat we'd finished sound checking, and we were just sat chilling, and then they just come busting through the door with loads of stuff. We're not even asked for this. Brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's nice when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always find it hard when you go some places and you have to ask for a water, and then they go how many's in band, and then they give you one each for the entire night.
Yeah. What about theatres and stuff? The recharges at theatres, and it's you look at this. Oh, washing machine, £5. To what? Are you going to wash it? No. Okay. Bottle of water, 3, and you're like, okay, I get it, but
We started just kind of stocking up before we go now, so we'll go to Aldi, or our bass player's got a Costco card, so
perfect.
Just get crates of water and just take them around all weekend.
That's the sensible thing. All bands should do. We should do that. We don't. We end up doing no.
Especially when you want beer in Glasgow.
Yeah. I was fuming.
Won't do that again.
Yeah.
When we've been every it's all been premiere-ins, and we've just been booking the breakfast for the mornings, and it's unlimited, isn't it? So everyone's just been absolutely corpsing themselves in the morning, and then just stuffing the pockets full of yogurts and bananas and pan of chocolate.
What do you mean?
Take advantage of these things.
And but my wife won't have it all because she's got to wear a catsuit Marie Fredriksson. So she's
you lads don't worry about this sort of thing.
So I'm going to ask you, do you have a strict kind of regime that you have to stick to? Because she hammers the gym through the week and then lives off soup before the gig.
Trying to keep the track on it and all that stuff. So I've always done a lot of exercise.
Yeah.
But
get as many.
He's off to get more. So you're not in Glasgow now?
Oh, why not?
I'll get around him.
I've shown him where everything is. So.
Oh, he's at home now. This is what he does.
Gotta go inside to get attacked by the dog for the.
It's all right. He knows. He knows where all the essentials
are.
That's
what he's really going in there for. To say hello to the dog.
He's had enough of talking to me. He wants to go and talk to the dog. It's I've never spoken to an owner for this long before.
No, I know. But skimpy outfits. They're a task. I mean, Cher outfits is not a lot to the imagination, really.
No. Turn back time, that outfit and all that stuff.
That's not even I wouldn't say that's the most revealing outfit either. But I've had complaints before about certain outfits. I used to do Warner's an awful lot of Cher, and I have got this one which covers you high boots but it's quite a bit like a thong.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of. I mean, Cher's all about a bum. That's what it's about. And, it's an adult-only place. You think, but no, apparently, we're showing too much flesh. I was okay.
There's all kids and stuff.
But wearing the turn-back time sort of catsuit, which is more revealing, if anything, because it's higher cut at the front, and you've got lots of net, so you can actually see more of your actual body and your flesh. but that's okay.
But it's one of them, and it's like, it's not a new thing that Cher wore these outfits. So consider that when you're booking an artist. Yeah.
You kind of know what you're going to get.
Yeah, they're probably going to dress like the artist.
Yeah, yeah. It amazes me sometimes, that kind of thing. So I'm like, well, that's what you booked, like, you know. But I suppose you have to think carefully sometimes about where you're playing and what you're wearing as well and stuff like that, and kid-friendly stuff, like, you know, the pink stuff. I've got outfits with got crosses on particular parts of bodies.
Yeah.
So you probably won't wear that like at a holiday park or something like that. So, but yeah, you have to keep in shape. And like, if you fluctuate as well, it's like, well, I can't get in that outfit anymore. So you've got to keep like reworking like ideas of what outfit to wear, and it's a perpetual nightmare for us girls.
Yeah,
It really is.
Because I've got like an original band as well. So when it's like, when I do that, it's like normally I don't shave my facial hair off, and I wear much more kind of like rocky clothing and stuff, which is more my normal kind of clothes. But then when we do the Roxette thing, it's like, I have to get rid of all this. My face feels freezing for the first hour, and then I'm always paranoid that, like, because Per Gessler's quite like a slender guy. I've seen interviews where he said that he used to be a bit kind of chubby in his face and stuff when he was really young and that, but he's got like a really kind of like narrow face, and I've got like the ball head, so I'm like, I'm going to all this effort with all this stuff, and I'm like, I feel like I still don't look the part for it sometimes.
I do find that maybe the guys have a harder time though, because like for Cher, my facial features don't really look like Cher. She's got a very particular sort of now quite a sort of plastic sort of face, let's say. So it's a lot of makeup I put on. I call it my drag face, because if you see me without the wig, you're like, whoa, that woman's put a lot of makeup on. And I like to wear makeup, but it's like you have to put in real dark, because it's on stage, lights. You don't, if you just tickle it on, you won't see it. It's got to be really exaggerated. And I think makeup is a big help for changing the shape of your face or your nose. I mean, look at the drag queens and how they do it. So I think the girls benefit in that sense.
There's that guy on, he put on like those TikTok videos, and he literally makes himself look like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, you can literally paint it.
It's bizarre.
Like drawing it as a canvas, And I do worry that if I try to do that, it just look a bit too much like, well... Yeah. Because if you're a Michael Jackson, it is a little bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah, because it does look like someone's created that with a bit of a
if you get
photo
too close,
fit.
from far away, it's probably really effective sometimes. Yeah. Close up, it can be a bit,
No, I've not gone down that route yet. Libby puts like a line of guy liner under my eye on each side, underneath. She's like, you really could do this yourself. I'm like, oh no, I daren't. I'm gonna stab myself in the face. Like, let you do it. But she always says, I'm not a proper girl anyway. I don't really do makeup properly. I just chuck it on. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's a whole. I mean, I'm quite glad that I'm quite good with makeup, being arty, you know. Yeah. So it's always been something I've done. So when I did start doing Cher, it kind of comes in handy, and like you have to do different makeup for different people. And I've been called a chameleon before, because like people just like, how do you look like so many different people but still, you know? Yeah. Because Cher's a transformation indeed, but it's down to a lot of makeup and stuff, really. Yeah. Well, it's like when we were first setting up our Roxette tribute, we were looking around to see like if there were any others and things like that, and you popped up as well, because you'd put a video on, and you'd even put the little like thing on the teeth so it gets like every little detail were there, weren't it? It's like it's funny because I only dabble with it, and like I actually have as a kid a natural gap in my teeth. Right. So missed the boat then. Yeah, I know. It was like should have done that. But it was funny because during lockdown, just before lockdown, the gap started to reappear in my front teeth. Oh, really? I was like mortified. I was like, I don't want a gap in my teeth. So I had to go and get my teeth sorted out again. So get rid of the gap. So yeah, it's ironic that you have to paint it back in as soon as you had a gap, and you paint it back in. It's just. But I found that when I did do the makeup to do that, people thought I was going to be Madonna. And I can see why. Yeah. When Madonna did have shorter hair, or, you know. We're all a bit ruffled, yeah, it's actually quite similar. So I get people thinking I'm going to be other people as well, like Madonna and stuff. I'm like, I don't do all of these things.
It's time,
but
isn't it?
I do like makeup, and I do like experimenting with it. I had a friend who in a drunken night texted me and went, "Can you do a sort of happy birthday video for a friend of mine as Marilyn Monroe?" I was like, "But I don't impersonate Marilyn Monroe. I know people who do."
They just know you impersonate some
I was
people.
like, I was like, "That's not who I impersonate." He was like, "No, you can do." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Are you sure?" So off I went and like found out a wig that I got in the drawer, because as Annie Lennox, she did a video where she kind of dressed up like Marilyn Monroe. So I had this wig. It wasn't very great. Pulled some stuff out of my wardrobe, but I had to do the makeup. And she got very pointy eyebrows and had to do this little Marilyn Monroe video. So I quite enjoy trying to experiment with that and see, I can
it's
make
like a
myself
challenge,
look like
isn't it?
somebody,
There is someone on, I can't remember what her name is, it's a girl on social media, she's got like kind of reddish hair, and she does herself up like It and
there's some
the
people who
Grinch
take it very to the extreme.
and she just like, it's just like clipping across in different, in, like every so many seconds, so you can see it, like the transformation faster. But it's I can hear my dog barking at him.
That'll be Alex.
And it's like it's just amazing how she can do that with something that you can just have at home. Normally that would be things that people could, like, we're talking about things being accessible. That used to be things that only people who made films could do.
Exactly.
And now people are doing it in their house for fun.
I quite like that idea that I can just rummage through somewhere and find something and make myself like turn into somebody, So
I had two people on they did special effects in different films and things like that, and it's absolutely like fascinating what they're capable of doing, how they can just transform people so quickly.
Some people have like real great extreme skills that I just kind of do a little bit here, a little bit there, or whatever, and they're definitely the people who do that way better than I could. So,
well, they do courses.
Yes,
and you've already got the arty side. And, and the graphic design degree.
Yeah, and I do turn my hand to things like that, like sewing things on costumes or something, or crafting things into hats. And you harass the dog.
Yeah, we made friends.
We could thank you very much. We could hear him telling you off.
Yeah, initially it changed. Initially it was telling off, but then it sort of descended into. As I walked away, he said, "No, I didn't say you could go. Come and play." It's like, oh, okay.
He does after a while. It's like he don't want you to come near him, and then once he's made friends, he's annoyed that you've not given him attention.
Yeah, it was like there's a lot very sassy breed, aren't they?
It's his purpose in life to win over every dog.
Yeah, he's very demanding.
They must all love me. It's the rules.
We call him something else as well, don't we? When the activity of dogs.
God. Yeah. He's
a dogger.
A dogger.
Gets abuse.
Yeah, well, that's actually my favourite gig of the year. We do a festival, the Dogging Fest.
That's not what it's called.
That's not.
That's what he calls it.
Yeah, that sounds exhausting.
The other one's the Sausage Fest.
That's a whole different festival.
Yeah, the Sausage Fest is the other one.
All right.
That's a whole different festival.
The Sausage and Cider Festivals.
I've heard of those. They're supposed to be really good.
Yeah, there's not Dogging Fest. Dog Lovers Festival.
It's not getting better, really.
Yeah. It's
not.
Dog Lovers Festival. It's like Caravan Club and all them there, and it's just loads of people with dogs, and it's ace. We sort of sound check or whatever, and then I'll just bugger off and just go around meeting loads of dogs. There's nearby. There's the Great Dane. There's like a Great Dane rescue or organisation nearby. So there's always loads of Great Danes there. They're big buggers.
Yeah,
and they like to sit on you, and they're about 16 stone.
Yeah, they don't live very long, do they?
No,
that's
I mean, that's my favourite breed, but I'm because of that.
Ridiculous, like with dogs. It's like, people that have got me on Facebook know that I'm just embarrassing with my dog. He's got so many things. I mean, he's got a castle in the house, you've probably seen. He's got King Otis. Yeah, he's got every toy. It's like before he could get up onto bed because he couldn't jump high enough when he was a puppy. He'd got some stairs.
Steps, yeah.
He's got which Libby said we're going to just keep those because like when he gets old, he'll be able to use them again.
Yeah, perfect.
And I was like. But then I'd read something that's saying that they can live from like 14 to 20 years if you look after them and they get a bit of luck on the side.
Yeah, so
he's only 3.
Yeah.
I think the irony for you here is you love dogs, but your wife's name is actually...
Cat, yeah. Don't you like cats? Not really. Well, no, I like my wife. She's all right.
Dogs over people any day of the week.
That's
yeah,
him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. John Wick was a good film.
Yep. Yeah.
What did I miss? The diet regime.
Bit of that and a bit of makeup.
Oh, yeah.
Changing the way you look.
Yeah, yeah.
Not that you do that, you just put on a skirt.
See what I have to put up with, you know. I'm the star of the show.
So when we're obviously on the subject of that then, where you're talking about looking like and being somebody else, how do you like feel that you get treated most of the time? Because when I go out and about doing stuff like that, it's like you get a real extreme mix of people that kind of really love what you do, or because they're drunk, they're almost acting like you're the real person, and then
suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, because it's taken them back to the youth, and they're in this little zone. And then you've got other people that they're so angry that you're doing it.
Yeah, well, that's...
And there's everything in between.
Because when I did start doing the Annie Lennox, I found that fans of Annie Lennox were quite precious. They would really troll me. And I was like, well, you do know that I'm not really pretending that I think I am Annie Lennox. I got quite a lot of abuse. It was not the nicest. That's kind of stopped now. I don't think I've had anything for ages. But I think it's because obviously my hair's up at the minute and stuff, but when it's flatter and when I've got no makeup on at all, it's like I do just look like her. And I think because that sort of expectation then is so high, God, she looks exactly like her, then the pressure is really on for everything else to be as perfect. Like, I want to believe this is really... And that's why I was so conscious of the vocal, because that pressure was there. And because I was like, I don't really sing that way, and I had to really work at it.
Zone, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it just kind of knocked me a lot to start with, but I'm quite tenacious. I kept going with it. And I think it makes more sense. I think as a solo, it didn't make a lot of sense to do Annie Lennox, but as a band, it makes a lot more sense, and people kind of buy into it a lot more.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
But I used to get the reaction when I come out, people are like, wow, like, oh my God, it's her, like, you know, because I look so much like her, what have you. And I try with the costumes, I really pick about every little detail, because the artistic side of me, where I've got to get like the observation of this is here and this is how many buttons we've got. And my mate laughs at me about buttons and how many buttons. There's
the big jacket,
detail. I like to make sure it's as close as I can get it, really. So I put a lot of pressure on myself in that sense, but the Annie Lennox, it started off rocky for me because of the whole very precious fans. I'm like, well, yeah, okay, then they'd be really abusive, like, about how I looked and how I sounded and how I did this and how I did that. I'm like, I think you need to remember this is just sort of make-believe for a minute. And
I'm a fan too, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just one of you.
Yeah.
But I just happen to be able to sing.
Annie doesn't tour anymore either, and, you know, Cher really rarely tours. I mean, I never got it with Cher or Pink particularly. It's just the Annie Lennox was a bit troubled. And
it's a bit of the culture we live in, though, isn't it? It's like how we all develop opinions on celebrities. And it's like, they're still real people. You know, they're just people. You know.
Yeah.
But it is sort of funny. Like this is how I would look normally, and like, you'd be walking around going, oh, it's Pink, or you look like Pink. And it depends on the generation. I think older people will say Annie Lennox, and slightly younger people would say Pink. And then, like, if we've got a show, when we were at Glasgow, we walk around the corner. You weren't with us. We walk around the corner to get food, and I get getting stopped for photos before the show. It's like, because they're coming to the show and like they want a photo, and it's like, it's almost like a little celebrity thing. You're like, this is, and all the lads are looking at me like, well, I can't even walk down the road.
It's tough being you, being so famous, you know.
And then like,
we like your minders, really, aren't we?
But I could be walking somewhere anyway, generally, and like, oh, you look like Annie, or you're Pink, or you're, you know, so.
Cher.
It's kind of fun.
But do you wear the wig out in public?
No, I don't. No.
It's because, and this doesn't just fall on women; it falls on men as well. And
there's like a generation of people that just look the same all the time,
Yeah.
and they change together. So like, and it's happening like in my friendship group. It's like when I was a teenager, they all were like clean shaven, little indie emo boys, sweep over fringe, all that. Then they kind of went a bit more pretty boy, and then everyone started looking like kind of lumberjacks, and with a beard come along, and the flannel shirts and stuff like that. And then now we all look like EDL members, and it's like everyone's got a gut and a bald head. So. But it's like, but people do, like, all the girls seem to dress like me and Libby once went out. We were on a train somewhere. And like 5 girls got on, they all got the same clothes on to go out drinking. There's no like individuality. No one looks unique.
Well, it's down to the face and the way they do the makeup and the way they've had.
They've all watched the same Instagram tutorial.
The same hair, yeah.
I think it's always been like that. I think we just miss it because of our age at the time. We evolved through it. Whereas if you stand on the outside, you look at the haircuts in the 60s.
Yeah, but I think there's sometimes
you see photos of women in the 60s and they're all dressed and look the same.
Yeah, it's nice to be individual.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you talk about like 80s rockers and stuff like that. It's like all the guys had the same clothes, the same hair, and the leather jacket,
makeup,
ripped jeans,
yeah.
massive kind of like poodle perms and stuff. So it's like
great days.
But I think when you decide that you pick a certain image and you go, that's going to be mine, and I'm going to keep it, and I'm not going to change with the next. You stay in one spot, and that's when you start standing out more because you've maintained it and gone. I found my look.
So
you know,
your teenage 20s and stuff, you sort of settle on something, don't you? And you go, it's just comfortable.
Yeah, joggers. They're the one.
Joggers and Crocs.
Poor people think I'm weird, and they go, "Why are you wearing that?" I'm like, because I want to, because I can. I want to. That's what I like, you know.
Well, that's it. Yeah, people, like I say, when you go out, it's like they've all been to when I were going like as a teenager and stuff. Because I don't go out every weekend because I'm working every weekend. So I'm like, but it's like everyone would just buy the same shirt from Top Man, and like every bar that they went in, it's like there'd be like 13 guys that's all got the same shirt on, all stood at bar.
Foster's, remember Foster's? Oh. And Burton's
is one. Yeah.
That's still
See,
going.
I like to be more unique. I go and find things that are a bit more weird and wonderful.
Yeah.
Like this I'm wearing today. My mum bought me this.
Charity shop.
Yep.
Vintage.
It's vintage.
It's where you find the best clothes.
Yeah. I just most of the stuff I buy is off the internet now.
We've got the rag market. Brilliant. If you want to buy costumes for a period, you know.
It's not really, not there so much anymore, but
there's a guy on the rag market I will go to. That's where I bought my first Lennox.
The guy with all the second-hand, the vintage.
Yeah, right in the middle of the rag market.
It's just like old.
So what's the rag market?
So Birmingham City Centre, you've got the Bullring Shopping Centre, the famous
just
one.
Down is.
You go down the hill. There's the
heading towards Digbeth.
Yeah, there's the indoor market. It's like and it's just.
It's historically known as the rag market because it's mostly known for selling material.
Yep.
So me and my mum go to buy material to make stuff a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But there's a guy on there who deals in all sorts of vintage clothing, basically. He's got stacks of old school clothing. And that's why I actually decided that day, right, Annie Lennox is going to get started, because I was looking through, because I always like to look at his little bit. And there was a floor-length real leather jacket, looked brand new, and I bought it for 25 quid. And that's how it started, basically. Yeah. And I go there for if I want to find some 80s stuff or something more interesting, or tartan for Annie.
It's awesome.
I'll go and look at his place first, because he's got sort of hats as well, military hats, military coats.
It looks like he goes around clearing out like your grandma's loft and stuff.
Yeah.
But it'll be like, there'll be dresses from and flares,
60s stuff,
old school bell bottoms.
Stuff.
Oh, it's brilliant.
It's a great place, his little
cheap.
store. I could spend ages there.
Yeah.
Do you kind of deal a lot in like eBay and Vinted?
Yeah, Vinted helped me a bit.
Terrible
That's a nice new thing.
Terrible with Vinted.
I got you into Shein.
Oh yeah, I'm on Shein now. Yeah.
Like, where can I get some clothes?
I looked at it, but I didn't know I couldn't trust if it were going to be any good or not.
It's actually really good. I've always bought stuff and it's come and it's exactly as it looked.
Shein?
So,
Some of the sizes but I may have picked the wrong ones.
Yeah. The drummer in my original band once bought one of those kind of is it like an aviator coat like that? A bit like a. With the fluffy bit and stuff like that, and on the picture it looked amazing. this tent arrived that just looked like two pieces of material stitched together, and then they'd just thrown some sleeves on it. It looked like an awful dressing gown on him. And
you can get those, but
Yeah,
I've had
it's
all
hit.
right with Sheen mostly. So, but it's nice to go and look in, and down towards Digbeth, there's lots of vintage places down there, and there's a market around the corner. It's great.
Yeah, we're
Great
quite
stuff
we're
like
quite
that.
lucky in
I
Birmingham.
had to find
have, in the Midlands,
like
stuff
a
that
sailor's
we're very-
hat. They call it. I had to find this particular hat for Annie Lennox. I couldn't.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't
not,
find
not
it
the
for-
Cher hats, the Cher sailor hats. for
No, I got the Cher sailor hats and stuff like that as well. Top hats I get from the rag market, and I finally found out it was called a tally hat, like a sailor's tally hat. So once I knew that, I could find it better, and they had loads down in Digbeth, and I could, because I had to cover it in leopard print for the whole.
Oh, that's the leopard print one.
The tally hat,
Oh.
yeah. I spent ages looking for that hat. So this is a thing you have to do in this trip. You're like, I've got to find this particular thing, So
Details matter.
it's been a nightmare. We're easy for Libby when we set up our trivia, but it's like, because I went, oh, you've got to wear like 80s stuff and wear
What's
things.
she open the
And she
wardrobe?
just, yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, well, I've got it all pretty much. Yeah.
there's always
With me,
something
I was
in the
like, oh
wardrobe.
god, I'm
Yeah.
like trying to find like shirts that like were similar to what he wore.
I
and
guess so. They were awful shirts, weren't they? I mean, they were. I mean, he used to wear some awful. It's like,
jazzy.
they were jazzy
you
shirts.
can't buy new shirts though,
No,
because
you
like
can't get them, yeah.
they're all muscle fit, and he don't wear muscle
No,
fit. It's kind of
loose and
80s loose,
baggy.
going into early 90s.
Yeah, they're like
yeah.
blowing in the
Yeah,
wings.
managed to find a shirt
Charity
the other
shops.
day
You need to get
actually.
oversized.
Yeah.
Charity shops,
I bought a larger shirt because I'm normally a medium, and I've got this black shirt that's got like a white collar on it, and it looks like something he would normally
Yeah.
wear. The only problem is, it's like I've got what I class as like a bit of a fat neck, so it's like I can't put the button up to top. Like he has it right up.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've ended up getting like animal print and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I bought this particular wig, and I was like 200 odd quid, and it's got the like mesh thing on it, so it all
Yeah.
looks like it's
Yeah.
coming out of your head.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it was brilliant. And then Livy was going, nope, looks stupid.
Sometimes
That
Yeah.
the
Hit and miss with
cheapest
wigs.
wig can look the better wig.
she
yeah.
picked one up for like 35
Yeah.
quid,
Yeah.
and got
Sometimes.
her hairdresser to cut it.
Yeah,
while
that's it.
I've had my
um,
hairdresser cut
yeah.
and dye wigs and stuff. Yeah,
Just go in with it on and just go.
It's
show him a picture.
full on
Yeah.
looks like his did in like
Yeah.
the late 80s.
The big.
Yeah, like the big
Yeah,
bit that
yeah.
goes up
Backcomb
there and a
sort of
little bit
vibe.
coming down at the sides. Yeah,
yeah.
and it's
So
got,
there's a couple of styles to choose from, but that's the one.
that's the
I'm
most
like,
well-known one. Yeah, but people keep like coming up to me all the time and afterwards, and they'll go, "Is it a wig?" And I'm like, "I hope so." And they were going,
I don't fancy getting
what's,
petrol on the way home with
Yeah.
it.
and they go like, "What's underneath?" I'm like, "A shaved head." Yeah. And I went, if I could grow it, I wouldn't have it like this.
Yeah.
You know, no disrespect to him, but it's like I don't.
wear a wig like the Cher. I can take that off and take a bit of makeup on. It can be back in the crowd and then not know it's you. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, well,
They're very observant if they know I'm the same person.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
I've had people argue like, "You aren't the same person. There's two different people." I'm like, "No, it's
I
me."
just
Yeah,
put completely different clothes on and a beanie
Yeah.
out.
So I just say, oh no, I'm a roadie.
yeah.
It's, so I've got quite a collection of wigs for all the shows I do, but the worst one, apart from that one ABBA wig, there's one that's horrendous. She's bought me a new one now, so I don't have to wear that one. It just, I put it on, it's just like, I just look like Jimmy Savile or something. It's just like, I can't
Jimmy
go.
Savile for dogs.
Yeah. It's like being paedophobic. The Brian May wig. And you're like, it's just like,
His face in a wig generally is.
yeah.
He always pulls a stupid face for a photo as well, don't you?
It's,
I think your actual true calling is Jack Black.
yeah, we've had this
I've
discussion,
had this discussion many times.
and it's excuse to
A lot,
pile few
a
pounds.
lot younger than the current one, I would say.
Jack Black.
Probably, but then I've got a beard out. 'cause
He
he's
didn't used to have a beard.
No,
all
he
the
didn't
time.
actually. Yeah,
No, he used to be full on clean shaven.
Yeah, I just
didn't
need to barrel up a bit then, don't I?
Not really. He was.
What do you mean?
He was. He
You've
was
come to
thinner
the
back
right
in the
place.
day.
He's about 25
He's
stone
now.
I want to be authentic, you know.
You're going for the older look then, yeah?
Yeah.
So what are the other? Cause obviously you're
I
part
won't be
of
here
other
all day
things
to
as
asking
well.
this
Yeah,
question.
No, you ask me what else I do.
reel me a few off. Yeah.
So I just thought, well, I do sound tech and lights tech for some of Stacy's stuff because that's something I've always done. There's Cher, Eurythmics, Bon Jovi.
Not me. These aren't me.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Bon Jovi.
Bon
I'm
Jovi.
like, you are versatile.
Bon
Not Bon
Jovi. Yeah. Puts the wig on.
Yeah.
Queen, ABBA, Bryan Adams, Blondie, Kylie.
Mostly the guitar player.
Mostly either guitar or guitar and tech or combination. Or
I didn't think you were going to be Kylie. So.
Yeah.
oh, look alright in the hot pants. Yeah.
Got the white dress.
Yeah,
and the boob tape.
Do you know what? I've tried it on. I look awesome in that. You've got no. Yeah. Don't judge till you've seen it.
That sounds scary.
It's pretty horrid. Yeah, you'll never sleep
Nightmares.
again. Yeah, it's like when you see something so horrific, every time you close your eyes, you see it again. You'll never want to blink again. Kylie Minogue, Blondie. Blondie's good fun. I enjoy that. And then a lot of theme shows like this 70s glam rock show, 80s cheesy pop show, 80s hair metal show, like which is all like Ozzy, Whitesnake, Guns N' Roses, Jovi. What else? Is that it? Oh, Eminem. That's my favourite one at the minute.
That's your baby, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of my baby. That one's the first one. Not necessarily the first one, but the one where I've kind of MD'd it. I'm not Eminem. I'm the guitarist, and I've just MD'd it, produced the show.
Never seen an Eminem tribute anywhere before.
There's only 3 knocking about in the UK. One of which lives in Benidorm.
Right.
And they're all quite good, but luckily the one that I thought was best lives close
Happened
to me.
He's an ex-student of mine.
Yeah, and this.
This is really weird.
Yeah. And I was it was at a mainstream showcase, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because we had a lot of mutual friends, so I kind of got to meet him. Then some time later, I thought, well, it's like, do you know what? I think I watched a couple of an Eminem concert. It's like, oh, that's musically like live with a live band. It's good. The band are just unreal. This
is your first. You're the sort of
boss
of things. Like you put it instead of joining somebody else.
Rather than so it's I've started it from with James, who's the Eminem James Wives, the Eminem Show tributes in the UK. And he was doing it solo. I was just like, you got to do this with the band, mate. It's like, when you do, call me because I'll set that up. And he eventually came back to me. He's like, do you know what? Yeah, I think it's time. I was just like, oh, fantastic. So I did all the arrangements, put all the music together and everything. And of course, I can program all the lights, all the sound, and all the other stuff. But we've only done about 4 gigs. But it's like I wanted to hit the ground running with it rather than we'll do a couple of testers and see how it's like. No, let's just do it properly, do it one time. Yeah. And it's all sold out. Pretty much everywhere we've played is sold out. We haven't even got any promo videos or anything like that. We've got there's nothing. Yeah. They've sold out anyway. It's one of them, shows that there's a market for it. Because this was the thing. It's like
you're filling that gap there because there's a billion ABBA tributes out there.
So many.
Obviously, some there's some top end ones, and then there's just some they're just there,
Yeah.
But like you say, if you look for something that someone else has not done, then people go, oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was a conversation we had about the new project that we might do at some point. It's kind of it's one of them things you've got to. It's about figuring out whether there's a market for it.
Yeah.
See what else is in the market for it, and then it's like you got to find your niche. It's like Roxette. There's not like millions of Roxettes, but they weren't really popular. You'd be surprised how many people go, "Oh, I love Roxette." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
it's been really weird.
I was the only one who quite
Lennox is
Oh, I love the Eurythmics. I thought it was just me. It's like,
we were like people like. They seem to have like such a bizarre kind of mix of knowledge about what Roxette is all about because you get people who turn up to the gig and they go, I never knew there were a guy singing in it.
Yeah, people forget, don't they?
They go, I thought she was just called Roxette, and she were
they all think that's her name. Yeah, it's weird stuff.
Like a solo singer, and then you get people
they're from Sweden.
Yeah, they're like, I thought they were American or something. And then people go, they'll ask me like. Usually somebody.
Well, they do it. Why didn't you do this song? And you're like, that's like an album track that never was.
Somebody will like say to like a stranger, they'll go, "Oh, Matt does music," and they're like, "Oh God, now I've got to tell them all this stuff now." Yeah. Like you're just trying to reel it all off. And sometimes you haven't got time. I'm not always on a podcast. So. And they like they'll say all this stuff and they'll go, I don't think I know any Roxette songs, and I'll go, Joyride, Must Have Been Love,
They
and
do
it's
that
not
with
really.
Annie Lennox.
Oh yeah.
But
it was really hard to get people to associate Annie Lennox with Eurythmics.
Yeah.
It's like that, like their brains couldn't compute.
Everyone
Like,
knows
what,
that Annie
what
Lennox
does she
is-
sing? Like
yeah,
Sweet
but-
Dreams.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know that.
There's a lot of songs
But
on
there's so many.
Heart 80s and Smooth that Roxette and Annie
hear
Lennox
them,
are on.
They know them.
Yeah.
They just don't know they know them.
One of the texts at the Butlins last night, he was I overheard him chanting. Every guy and sort of joined the conversation. He was like, "Didn't realise how many Eurythmic songs I knew." It's like, everyone's
you
does that,
know
you
them
know.
all. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason why they're they're household names.
Yeah.
oh,
Could
yeah,
literally do,
absolutely.
I think, 3 hours of hits out of Annie and Eurythmics and all that.
Probably, yeah. Well, you could
Could
do all
probably
the more of the
2 or
Annie
3
solo
hours,
stuff as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
You know, there's plenty.
2 or 3 hours
to choose
worth
from
of
it,
material.
Yeah.
That's quite good stuff.
Yeah, it's good music. It's another one, like you say about like ABBA. It's like that's good music. Eurythmics is good music.
Yeah.
It's so cleverly arranged.
It's differently done, is it?
Because of the time they existed. They're at the kind of precipice of pioneering the synth pop stuff.
Yeah.
And
Because if someone were doing it now, it'd be like it's
Yeah.
impressive, but it's still too easy.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
back then, to create them out of more limited
Oh,
tools.
yeah, and it was, and the technology was changing at that time, big time.
Yeah.
You know, it's been things like
And with the look as well, isn't it? That
oh
whole
yeah,
androgynous.
the androgynous thing was a bit big in the 80s as well.
That's always the thing. I don't know why I couldn't seem to gravitate, because when Cher started, when they heard her, they thought she was a man. When Annie Lennox, they see her, they're like, is it a man or a woman? Wasn't it, that whole thing in the
that's-
day?
yeah.
I was like, there's something going on here.
Or
So-
George.
Yeah, man or a woman. Who is he?
Elton,
What's he
Elton
doing?
John, George Michael. There was so much androgyny
Was it?
around
What,
at that
it
time.
confused.
It's
I
great.
don't think it helped when she sang like "Walking in Memphis" because there is actually a male recording of that
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
So
yeah.
people
And
were
then-
going like,
Well,
"I
Cher
thought it were a guy."
dressed
It's like,
up as
well, there is
Elvis
a
for the
guy.
video for that as well. So
Yeah, not helping the confusion.
no.
So there's no plans to do any other like brand new tributes and shows to throw
I'm
into the
sure
mix
there's
to make
loads going
yourself
on,
stress.
probably everyone's There's all he does millions anyway. Look at him, he's got
Yeah, I think I do.
plans.
I've got a plan for another one.
He's got
But
plans.
we've
Yeah.
got to figure out. It's a lot to figure out first. It's like any business venture, you know, and that's although there's an artistic element and we do this, it's our passion. It's got to work business wise as well.
Oh yeah,
Because I'd love to do an extreme tribute band.
yeah.
Do you play guitar, right? Well, the tribute.
Not very well, but
Oh,
yeah.
okay. But
Well, I say that about everything I do. To be honest.
but some or Toto would be the one. But
Yeah.
if you put a Toto gig on at your local venue or anywhere venue around, will enough people come to make it
Yeah.
financially viable?
You
Yeah.
talked about Pink Floyd as well, didn't you?
Pink Floyd, yeah. Well,
You'd
that
love
was
to do that, but
Yeah.
it's so awesome. But there's it's the
There's a lot
production.
of parts to that,
that's a
isn't
big
there?
So many
thing. That
parts.
would, yeah.
And there's already people out there doing a really good job of
Yeah.
it. The Pink Floyd UK, Australian Pink Floyd. There's already people doing a great job on the circuit. So if you're going to bring anything to the party,
Yeah.
it's what you're going to bring different.
It
What
needs
are
to be
you gonna do
different, but then you don't know because it's not been tried and tested by others. So then you're the guinea pig,
You're the
aren't
guinea
you?
pig.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
I felt like that when I did the Annie Lennox a little bit, even though
Yeah.
there was a couple of people knocking around, but
Yeah.
I had people going, oh, it's too niche, it won't work, it won't work. But I'm still doing it. I mean, I've been doing Annie Lennox for probably about 10 years, I think.
Have you?
Yeah,
Blimey.
yeah, about 10 years probably this year, I think.
Doing solos and
From solo to now.
do you still do any solo? I haven't done
Not very
solo,
often. I do
honestly.
occasionally do a solo, but not very often. Feels very weird now to do that as a solo.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel right at all.
Well,
Because the kilt's not there.
Yeah, that
Let me
one.
flash you.
Yeah, that one.
What's it feel like when you? Because I've done the same way. Like in the same weekend, you can do a theatre to
Yeah,
like 600 people, and then you like nearly in something like a pub corner or restaurant the day after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? How does that feel like mentally? Like
I
taking that
think,
massive
yeah.
jump.
I
Can you get in the
freaking love
zone?
it.
It's
I love it.
I mean,
It's hard to get in the
depends
zone
where I
for it.
am.
No, I've no issue. So, yeah, and you go first because mine.
Oh no, it depends where you go, I think. But I think sometimes it's difficult. The more you are with the band members. I think it's more that's the problem for me. It's like I'm surrounded by the other people, and then when you're on your own, you're literally on your own. So I think that's more the point for me than anything else.
See, when I'm on my own, I'm not really on my own, because when I do a solo gig, I'm usually just down the pub somewhere. So like, I don't
somewhere that you know.
Yeah, well, not necessarily somewhere I know, but like there's a less expectation.
Maybe.
I don't go out and do many solo tribute gigs.
No, you don't.
I'm just the bloke in the corner of the pub having a bit of banter and singing a load of songs that you weren't expecting to hear, because they're the songs I want to sing.
I think you mentally prepare yourself for it. You know you're not going to walk on and they're going to cheer during your intro. They're probably not going to clap for some songs because they're busy talking. You're just
having
there.
the right expectations, right?
You know that certain gigs you are kind of background noise. You aren't. You're not the star of the show today.
I think a lot of people have a challenge with that, and you see it on the internet all the time with sort of singers going, "Oh, it's so rude," and this and that, people talking, and it's like reset your expectations. And do it because you love doing it.
Yeah.
And that's something I would go to a pub in the middle of nowhere with one man and his three-legged dog. And I'm happy to just keep doing this. I'll play. But I'd sing the
Excuse
same
me, mate,
song.
can you go home? Just
Leave the dog.
Leave the dog. Well, it just doesn't bother me. I'll do it because I like what's going on here.
Yeah.
Not because I'm reliant on maybe something that's coming back from there.
Yeah.
It helps.
It's an added bonus, isn't it?
It's like, it helps, and like you don't do it for the applause. You do it because you.
We do it for cash.
Yeah, do it for the money. But like, and the beer. Yeah, but I'm happy. Like, it just doesn't bother me. I like, at some point in my life, I decided, I like playing the guitar, or I like singing, or whatever. I like doing this, and it's like nobody else really matters. It's great, and don't get me wrong, I definitely appreciate doing some of the big gigs that I've done with you, and it's like, we nailed this, and it's satisfying, and it's nice, and it's nice to have in those solo gigs. I love to have just somebody to talk to. So I'd be happy if it was just me, a beer, my guitar, and one bloke sat in the corner. As long as he's having a bit of banter with me, that's fine for me.
My mentality. The moment I'm on my own pub corner, half of the time I start talking before I even play a song, I just have a bit of a laugh and a joke and get a feel for the room.
We should do a duo. It'd be a right laugh.
We'll probably argue when I was going to drive.
We
can do a trio.
Yeah, you can drive. You can sound. You can be our sound engineer. Yeah, you can roadie for us. I think you're a rock star, Davis.
No,
back down to earth.
When you're talking about it, it is kind of like setting your expectations. It's like I do some stuff sometimes that I think I really shouldn't be doing it at solo gigs, and I since the back end of last year I started doing like a piano version of "Creep" by Radiohead.
Oh, cool!
It's very quiet. But then it's got like and I do it's got
the right environment,
big notes in the middle, and I don't do his falsetto thing. I do it all like a big full voice thing, and then every time I've done it, it's been quiet. Yeah, they've all been quiet all the way through every single one I've done. But I put a post on the internet. I can't remember, over Christmas, in this like singers group, because I found it amusing, and I said that. It was that type of song that like it demands silence, and it seemed to just automatically everyone just like watched, and they were quiet, and then this guy for the last 15 seconds started opening a packet of pork scratchings, and it were all crackling, and it all like we were all laughing about it at end afterwards, and I was like I was saying, oh, thank you very much, I really appreciate your so quietness, and thank you to that guy for the added percussion from your pork scratches. And somebody shouted, you could have waited and stuff. But then there were people finding it funny and sharing their own kind of stories on the post. But one person actually said to me like, who do you think you are? Like, demanding silence for. I'm like, no, it's not the point of that.
It's the banter. It's like,
I was like, if they talked all the way through, then fair enough. But it's the fact that everyone were quiet, and one guy were like, it had clearly peaked, and it were like he's just doing the last couple of notes, then you can hear.
That's comedy gold.
Oh yeah, I just found it funny. I mean, like, it's such
if you can't have fun though, it's like because like with the Pink guys, we have fun before we're on stage, we have fun when we're on stage, we have fun with the audience. So you want to project that onto your Facebook page when you put up a post about what you did in, little reels or videos. So it has to be that perpetual sense of fun for us.
Yeah.
Because
it's not... A lot of people don't realise, because they'll always go, oh, it was great, you get paid to sing for an hour or 90 minutes or 2 hours. It's like, no. It's like sometimes we're leaving in the morning or at lunchtime, we're packing cars, vans, trailers.
What's average, 18-hour day?
Yeah.
But
by the time you've got there,
and doing a theatre show, it's an 18-hour day.
Yeah, because you've got to get there crazy early. It's not always close to home, majority of the time. And then once you've done your show, you're packing up, which takes forever. But then you've got to go and press the flash and say hello to everybody afterwards. And then when you get to your hotel, I mean, we were averaging 2 in the morning, even on hotels that were only 45 minutes away, and then you're out again at, at 12 once you've been kicked out, and you're away to the next place. And you've done all week, and you think, God, I could have just stacked shells at Asda and had my feet up at 9 every night.
Well, this is kind of the thing. This is why you've kind of got to have fun doing it, because it's too hard otherwise. And if you're just doing it for the money, it's the wrong job. Simple as that. There's plenty of other jobs that will earn a lot more money.
It's boring like that. 9 times out of 10.
Sometimes. But it's you do it because it's your passion, and this is why my outlook on it. It's like, well, I'm grateful that I get to do something that I enjoy every day. What's the old adage? If you do a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I'm an amateur philosopher, by the way.
He comes out with these gems.
There was one I thought of earlier that was fitting for something. Can't remember what it was.
I'm sure it comes.
Just call me Socrates. Socrates.
So what's the game plan over the next 3 to 5 years with the shows that you've got currently? Then are you going to just are you happy where it is and you're just going to continue, or is there something further that you want to reach for at the moment?
More the same, more venues, more theatres. There's a lot of talk about me doing aerial skills, which I have tried and I have done, but it's all about the logistics of it, which is kind of where you've been talking to people about trying to get this incorporated into the show.
Yeah, I've got to find. It's part of the challenge. It's always a bit the who you know, not what you know. You need a bit of. I need a bit of advice on this. So if there's anyone out there who's maybe worked and done Cirque du Soleil in a theatre,
Cirque du Soleil in theatres, you need to.
Anyone that works in an elastic band factory.
Because once I get the green light, I'll be going for it. You know what I mean? Because I'm crazy, stupid like that. So
we did get given a brilliant idea, because theatre techs are always fantastic. They're so helpful. It's always. It's another job. It's a passion job.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the pay like? It's all right. Doesn't really matter. I'll do it because I love doing it. But theatre techs are great, and they we arrived at one, and for the Pink Show, wasn't it? And the guy says, I half thought you might have had a drone or something flying a pink Barbie doll fly on the audience or something. She does and it's like
she goes out in the crowd with her.
And we sort of paused for a second. It was like, that's brilliant. We need to do that. It's like, we're on it, but you can't.
Like, no.
But the drones, the sort of drones you can actually legally fly over a crowded area. That would be able to take the way. You're not allowed to. You can't voluntarily.
They've
fly
got the tiny, aren't they?
And but you'd need a bigger one because it's carrying, and it's because Hank, he does a lot of camera stuff and drones, so he knows a bit of the law on it. It's like, drats. But then it's figuring out.
Trying to find out if we can work this in the aerial stuff.
Yeah, and it'd be
that's
so
the next
cool.
level.
That's always
isn't
the joke. Like you think, we do the aerial skills. I'm like, I'd love to, but
Yeah. So there's got to be something on the ceiling to hang you off, and and
I mean,
maybe there
on the stage it's not bad because there's trussing and stuff. It's the getting over the audience.
Well, we probably couldn't go over the audience.
You can't do that with that. That's a whole other set of
retake.
So potentially it might be like
your insurance premium might be going up.
Literally, and you have to have a separate team of people.
Because it's not always worked out, cushy for Pink, has it? She's had a few incidents where she's crashed into things.
Was that when it was manually operated? And
what happens is she's got the harness on at the end for and the dancers clip her in either side with the You know, the thing.
Oh, and the one she went.
And he went before the dancer clipped in, and it just took the one side and threw her off the side of the stage.
Yeah.
And she did herself in, but
it's a great example. So you want to make it part of the show, so the dancers have got to clip her in.
Yeah.
Well, they've got to now go on a course to learn how to do that safely.
Yeah.
So that the mitigation for the risk assessment it gets like you get the more you go into it, the more work you have to do to try.
We do it with things sometimes. I'm the terrible one. I always come up with the weird ideas, and then my friend Joe, who like kind of like deals with all the production for the rock set thing, is like, well, this and this, and he'll like all these hoops you got to jump through, plus X amount £1,000 and all that. And I'm like,
the cost.
Maybe we should. Well, we could do some, and I'll come up with a different version of it.
Yeah. But we'll just have a trampoline. There we go.
We've got some pyro stuff, cold sparks. We were trying to work on the flames, weren't we?
Yeah, so that's a whole other set of.
That was another little thing.
And very, very venue specific.
Yeah.
So it's hard to keep it consistent. You want to deliver the same show to everyone, don't you? But it's just,
We've been doing the same. It's like we've just got these kind of like low foggers. I was making jokes because they look like Nunu off the Teletubbies.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah.
So we've got those. Yeah.
It's Nunu.
Yeah.
Oh, Nunu.
So we've got those for like that kind of stars in your eyes.
It's very 80s vibe.
Yeah. And then I'm literally saying, I went, right, next year I'm going to buy them at the end of this summer. I'm just going to get like 4 cold spark machines.
Yeah, they're great.
Just for certain points and things. And if I like them enough, I've said, well, we'll get like 2 more then and just spread them all across.
As long as the ceiling height's high enough, you can use them most places.
Yeah.
Because it's not pyro.
You can adjust them as well, apparently, so that if you think, if it's a slightly lower ceiling, you can knock them down, but they're not. It looks a bit sparse on some of them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, they still tend to be pretty high. It's got to be even the low ones are pretty. So we love all that.
We like crazy ideas.
Yeah. Let's have some fireworks. So when I went to see Kiss.
Yeah, well, that's the show, isn't it?
Yeah, but they. So this is when you start looking up. You go, well, what do we need to do? Surely we can do it. You go, well, there's a 30-person team running their pyrotechnics. Oh, okay. Well, lasers. Well, there's 12 of them. Oh, okay. And the health and safety guy. And then you're like, okay, maybe this.
There's so much you can do these days. Like you can program it through your laptop to just trigger it by itself. Yeah. Not everyone can just do it on the spot, but it's like say if you put the time in to learn, you can be like, this is actually gonna. Anyone could do it. A solo singer could have it if they wanted. It's probably unnecessary in a pub corner having all these.
No, Sodom. Yeah,
he sets up stuff in the pub corner.
Yeah, when I do solo gigs, I'll just because I've got all the gear anyway.
Everything. Yeah.
So I was just like,
he likes to use it.
I'm just like, might as well get some use out of it.
Boys' toys, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm just like pre-programmed, or they'll do like Sweet cat.
Yeah, I do it. It's like sometimes me and Livy will go into like a duo show together, and she'll look at size at room, and she'll go, should we bother taking moving heads in? And I'm like, no, this and that. And I'm like, no, take everything. Take it all in, Yeah, I want it all going crazy all the time at the crucial moments.
Absolutely. Give them an experience. Give them something to talk about you for,
Yeah, I've got some friends who they'll play like classic rock bands in kind of club circuits and some other bits and bobs, and some of them they'll still get paid the same as what the bands who don't bring all the stuff get, but everyone remembers them because they're like, they're brilliant, they've got this and they've got that, and they do
blew
this.
Up and caught fire. Yeah.
Bloody hell. So have any of you got any original projects ongoing at minute, or is that something you don't bother with anymore? Or
I've dabbled on and off with stuff like that, but not so much these days. It's time, isn't it? And
it's costly as well.
Yeah, I've produced a couple of albums over the years for people and worked co-songwriter and stuff, and I have to say I really enjoyed it, and I kind of miss it, but it is time. It's
doesn't quite pay the bills either.
It doesn't pay anything. and
if anything, it stops them getting paid sometimes.
Yeah. More so these days than ever, because selling records don't mean it's all just Spotify or whatever, or Apple Music, YouTube Music, Amazon. But it's another one where it's a passion project, but you do have to find the time to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that is always the challenge. But it's one of them things where it's important in your life to actually have that kind of creative outlet.
Yeah.
I think from a psychological point of view, and it's good for your mental health and all that stuff.
Just revisit it every now and then. I think I revisited it in like lockdown when I had a bit more time.
Yeah, you did.
I
They
did quite a
were
few
great
things,
actually. Yeah.
And then I got more into my video editing as well to go with the song or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Check out Stacy Rocks Green on YouTube. No, what's the channel called?
Stacy Music TV.
Stacy Music
It's
TV
Stacy
on
without
YouTube.
an E.
Stacy without an E. Yeah. No way.
Yeah, everyone gets it wrong. So.
Yeah.
We'll put some links in the description for it.
Yeah.
So that's
So,
what you change your middle name to. Stacy No E Green.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
so I always like to end the podcast on asking my guests what advice you would give to your younger self. I always love the face that the people pull on
That's a
that.
good question,
Could go
isn't
one
it?
of two ways.
It unlocks so many
I'm gonna
awful
say-
memories for people.
And I probably did this anyway. Don't listen to the form tutor who said you won't make a living out of music.
Yeah, but you don't need to say that to
No, I
yourself
don't,
because
no.
she did that anyway.
Yeah, I did that anyway.
So that's
but,
terrible
yeah.
advice.
I know. It's
That's
advice
like-
to other people.
That's like saying,
Don't listen. Do what you want.
yeah. I think, passion is everything, and I think
Don't take
Obviously, I was
no
gonna get
for an
cheesy.
answer. Don't
Yeah.
take no for an answer.
follow your heart.
Because there's so many doors get slammed in your face as you go through this
Oh God,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just you've got to have that tenacity to just keep picking yourself up, getting back to it, and see what other door opens. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'd just say, don't worry, everything's going to be all right. You nailed it, mate.
confident.
Maybe drink a little less beer because your liver's had a bit of a slam in the sea. Look after your knees. I don't know.
Do what you're doing now, but sooner.
Yeah,
Do it sooner.
Yeah, eat a bit less. Maybe go to the gym, mate. It's not great, That's probably all.
That's where all the sparkle and production's for. It's a
yeah.
distraction, isn't it?
distracts from how out of shape.
Don't look at
I
me.
am.
Look at the fancy lights.
Yeah. That's why I like working with you. You just distract.
Distraction.
People don't look at me. And just look at you in your thong or whatever you're wearing at the time. Well, Cher outfits. There's.
I have been known to forget my thong.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was awkward.
Wearing the Cher outfit, like just wear something underneath, just because it's more like I feel better.
Yeah.
So I don't go commando. But then I had a period of time where I kept forgetting the thong.
Oh God.
I had to go commando. So you're thinking all night, oh, don't move.
You're paranoid.
Don't move
Yeah.
too far.
Oh, you can smell it. What?
Oh, that's you with your clothes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
He's got a bag of clothing that I nicknamed the
Bag
bag
of
of doom
doom.
because it was just rancid.
Is it like Vivian off the Young Ones? His socks that run off on them.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
exactly what it is.
He
Yeah.
handed me 2 shirts that were supposed to be white. He went, "Can you iron
One of them
these?
was-
Can you iron these?" I was like,
I don't know how to
I
iron.
started
I don't
ironing.
know.
I was like, when you put heat to it, it was just like, oh.
Yeah, the
And then the
smell.
armpits are even more yellow than you.
Yeah, it sort of released. Yeah, the steam on the iron released the smell. It was
years of smell.
But I'm going to guess we're not going to use any clips from this for any dating apps in future.
no.
So.
So no, certainly not.
It's a good job I'm married in it. It's Jesus.
Well, thank you very much for coming to have a little chat with me. It's been cool to kind of, see behind the curtain on your side of the world.
Yeah.
It's similar in some ways to
Yeah.
ours, but
Yeah.
then there's different for everybody. Everyone seems to have different experiences, but
Yeah.
no, it's been good fun. And thank you for coming up to Yorkshire.
Thank you for
Thanks for
inviting
having
us.
us,
Up the north.
Yeah, up to north, yeah.
Up to north. Is this going out on the internet?
It is, yeah. We're getting it next year up here.
Yeah, okay. So you got to carpets now, and
Oh, yeah.
electricity, running water.
I'm still,
Garlic bread.
I'm still
Oh,
running
no.
this studio off a lamppost, though.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, guys, and I will see you soon. Good luck with everything.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And you.